Hey, Jake here. First off, thank you for listening to Season 1. That's awesome. As you probably noticed, these episodes have different cover art and go by a different name. What happened is we decided to rebrand to Welcome to Game Corp after Season 1. Don't worry though, Season 1 isn't lacking in quality by any means. In fact, a ton of amazing moments are contained in Season 1, plus you get to meet many of our crazy coworkers for the first time. Thanks again for listening, and welcome to Game Corp.
It was just a joke. I didn't think they would get so sensitive about it.
They hadn't even put out the fire yet, dude.
That's the punchline. I mean, that's what makes it funny.
Oh my god.
You know, I'm with Cowboy on this. Firefighters need to lighten up. I get it, you're at work putting out fires, but come on, laugh a little.
Exactly.
Wait, what the fuck?
Listen up, numbskulls. You better still be on schedule for today's games, because I swear, the next person who tries to fuck up this promotion for me, I'm going to literally rip their soul out and punch it right in its face, like, oh yeah, just like that.
Yeah, we're good. I mean, we worked up to the last minute like always, but thank God, yeah, it's done.
Yeah. We were actually about to get started in a few minutes.
Yep, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
No more surprises. I just need things to go smoothly today. I'm already dealing with pressure from the council. And then hello, there's this imposter breaking into my office.
Oh shit, what? Well, it wasn't us. I mean, who said that it was? Because they're lying, whoever they are.
Oh, no. I know you boys are too weak and dumb to ever pull a stunt like that on me.
Yeah, definitely. But, was there any clues left as to who it was?
Who needs clues when I already caught them red-handed?
What? You did?
But how is that possible?
Easy, idiot. I walked in, and there he was, snooping around my office, trying to turn off the alarm that he set off. Guess he didn't know my office goes into a lockdown after a few minutes. Oh, what a moron.
But who?
Luke's weird British intern, Golem or Gillyweed or whatever.
Goodwin?
Oh, yeah, that weirdo. I'm guessing he's a spy from our rivals, trying to stop my ascension up the corporate ladder. A little more torture and I'm sure he'll give up some names.
Oh no, this isn't good.
Just relax, boys. Let me worry about imposters. The most important thing right now is for you three to focus on battling these last games. They're a key part to my plan, and I won't even describe the heinous, grotesque, downright medieval things I will do to you boys if you fail me. I mean, unless you want me to, I'm sure I could rip something off the cuff, you know.
No,
we're good.
No need.
Good. And don't forget, new season, new situations, new name. 2022 is gonna be our year, boys.
Oh my god, that was a close one.
What do you mean close one? We got Goodwin captured, dude. What are we gonna do?
Nothing.
JB makes a great point. We could do nothing. Because, I mean, we already have a podcast to do and everything. And
Well, what if he gives up our names, dude? We're boned.
Yeah, but if we don't do the podcast, we're boned.
we're stuck between bones, guys. Plus, we don't even know how to help Goodwin.
Hello, podcasters, can you hear me?
Goodwin? Well, where are you? What's going on?
Oh, sirs, they've captured me. You may have done a bang-up job getting the door open, but I must say the instructions were quite explicit on disabling the alarm before opening the secret door.
Instructions? What are you talking about? What instructions?
Well, why, I left very clear and specific instructions and laid out everything in my letter.
Why are y'all looking at me?
Damn it, JB.
What?
Listen, podcasters, I don't have much time. Things are not what they seem here at Game Corp. I was only able to uncover a bit before they found me, and you will not believe what I have to say next, but it seems the boss is planning hostile takeover of opening up microtransactions, games as a service, end of indie gaming, EA.
Goodwin?
Podcasters?
Goodwin, you're cutting out. Can you hear me? Goodwin.
Podcast, oh, blast. Oh, I don't know if you can hear me. You need to stop the boss's evil plan. Get my hacking tool. Personal effects. Terry's possession. Free me. Secret room in his office. If he succeeds, Only bad games forever. Oh no, they're back. Oh, they bought the sponges. No, so moist. Oh, I'm dripping in it.
Ah, damn, I lost him. Oh, dang reception.
I don't know, man. This sounds like a lot to do. And if we're going to do this, we'd have to undermine the boss completely.
Yeah, is that something we really want to risk?
Oh, boys, forgot to mention, with the new season coming up, I need you all to work twice as hard and twice as long to meet the deadlines. Obviously, no overtime pay. Okay, thanks, bye.
You know, Jake, I think we do want to risk it.
Yeah, if we can save Goodwin, save gaming, and take the boss down a peg or two, I say we do it.
Yeah, and then maybe his bosses will tie him to a sports car and do donuts around their parking lot. Yeah.
Maybe. Anyways, he seemed to have mentioned like a hacking tool. He said Terry had it, right?
Oh, maybe they took his stuff to HR after they caught him. I mean, that seems like a good first step.
Yeah, cool. Okay, I'll set up an appointment with him for later.
Later? No, now. Why not now?
I mean, we got to do the podcast. You know, it's best we hedge our bets in case we mess up the rescue mission.
Okay, but counterpoint now?
Ah, yeah, that's a good point, but I already sent it? It's already sent.
Yeah, but you can send a request to edit an appointment just in Outlook, right there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's fair. That would be perfectly fine if I didn't already close Outlook. It's closed down. Oh.
You just closed it.
Oh, my computer's restarting for updates.
I mean, I can do it on my phone if you want.
Yeah, but your phone fell on the floor, so...
I have my phone right here. Ow! Hey.
So we'll do it later.
Welcome to the 23rd episode of Head to Head, a video game podcast brought to you by Game Corp, the totally not evil video game media conglomerate. Upper management in their infinite wisdom has hand-chosen us, a couple of low-level employees with zero experience, to serve as your host for this head-to-head, no-holds-barred matchup between two games to see which will stand triumphant. I am your host, Cowboy.
I'm Jake Rudy Dooney.
And I'm JB, a.k.a. Banjo Kazooie.
Gah?
The laugh was real this time. You actually got me. Fuck. And I regret
Don't
my
say
name.
That to be recorded forever. And everybody can hear that you've been fake laughing at all my names.
I regret my name immediately. What the fuck am I?
I've always exhaled sharply through the nose at them.
Anyway, in today's battle, we'll be facing off two contenders for the title of Exemplar of 3D platformers with Super Mario 64 versus Banjo Kazooie.
Hey.
This is probably the most exciting matchup that I think we've probably done to date. Like, these are two powerhouse performers. Super Mario 64 especially has a very special place in a lot of gamers' hearts. And I'm excited to see what happens when we start talking bad about it.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
So does Banjo.
So does Banjo.
They're both in Smash. So this is like the theoretical battle versus the actual battling. We're going to finally decide it. Who you maining as?
Hey, before we start, I got a big announcement that I've been super proud of, actually. As sad as it is for some of these elite gamers out here, including Cowboy, but I have been playing Rocket League for the last couple days. Before, me and Cowboy used to play together. He's really good.
Oh, yeah.
Tell him what your max rank was.
It's something big or grand. It's grand champ. Yeah, it was grand champ. It's at the top. It's up tippy top.
Yeah, Cowboy was grand champ before SSL came out, and at my max was a gold 3. And just recently I decided I'm going to get good at this game, and I busted my ass for a whole 4 hours, and I got myself up to diamond 1. So I'm feeling pretty good about myself. Yeah.
I'm proud of you. I mean,
Thank
it's
you.
not as high as like Grand Champion, but it's something to be proud of.
It's close to champ, which is close to grand champ. I did watch a video recently where it was 6 diamonds played against 2 grand champs and got their asses beat. So there's a marked difference between the 2 skill
There
sets,
is.
but I'm getting close. And this was like 4 hours. Imagine what I'll do after 4 hours and 30 minutes.
It's
We're
like,
doing good.
it's like 6 toddlers versus like 2 pretty strong teenagers.
Yeah, that's true. But we do
I
play a
love it.
lot together. So when we were playing the other day, you said we were training with weights on because
Oh,
you
yeah.
had to carry me. So I was really heavy.
That's always fun, isn't it? When you get really good at a game and then you can't play with your friends anymore because you've brought the skill floor so high up that it's just not fun for anybody
Either
involved.
of you.
And so I was like, fuck it, go ahead and just play.
Yeah.
I've literally
been
never
fun.
experienced that in my life.
No,
No.
you're not a big competitive gamer.
Not really, no.
Basically, yeah, when he first started playing with me, it was like having a toddler on the field, just kind of like doing cartwheels and stuff, while these captains of acrobatics, these amazing flying cars, did aerial stunts around him,
Mhm.
and he just putted around eating the clovers out the grass.
Yeah, my brain didn't work fast enough for these people. Like they would react so quickly. But we got there. I mean, we played a couple tournaments and we won the first one, got second place in the second one.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not bad.
And I do want to say there's this weird thing that happens, and I heard about this first in fencing, where novices can beat pros because the pros can't read them because they're doing the most random fucking shit. And that
Yeah.
actually happened with you sometimes, is that you would completely work over these grand champions because they could not read.
Yeah, I bring in the
You're-
chaos, and you
You
played
do.
with me enough that you can read the chaos. So it kind of works out because I'll
does,
throw
it
some
does.
crazy pass that's not even a pass, and you'll score it.
Yeah,
And it's like it
stuff
works.
that makes zero sense whatsoever. No one can see it coming because it should not be coming. It shouldn't happen.
And you're like, oh,
Like,
there's JB
there it
hitting
is.
it into our own corner again. Let me just take care of this.
It's fun times, though. It's good.
It's fun. I enjoy it.
Well, enough about all that nerd shit. I got some real news that everyone is super
Ooh.
interested in. So, I think it was last E3 Xbox, Microsoft had the gall to joke about releasing an Xbox Series mini fridge. Because we all know that, I guess the popular nickname of the PS5 was the router and the Series X was the mini fridge. Well, they done and did it, and I know a lot of you have seen it. They done and did it. They released the Xbox Series mini fridge. It looks like a big-ass Xbox Series X. You open it up, it can hold 10 cans of your favorite G Fuel for that ultimate gaming experience. It retails for $99.99. It's sold
that's
out.
not bad.
That's
It's-
not bad at all.
It sold out in 15 minutes. Of course it did. It sold out in 15 minutes. This was a couple days ago. 15 minutes. Every professional rocket playing gamer in the world was like, I need this fucking console
Yep.
mini fridge. They bought it up. And now, guess what? Another thing that we see in this crazy post fucking
Don't even
world.
go there. Don't even. I know exactly where you're going, and don't. I have been searching for 3060 Ti's. I don't even want the big boys. I'm not looking for a 3090. I'm not looking for a 3080.
That's where I'm
looking
going.
for a 3060 Ti. I know where you're going, and I'm upset about it.
Yeah.
Because I've been trying. I signed into Best Buy. I logged in. I saved the thing. I go every single day, multiple times a day. I refresh that page. I search through it. Nothing. There is nothing. I went to Best Buy. I actually drove down to local stores, and I hate going outside. I hate it. You know me. I fucking hate being in public. I went down. I walk up to the door, and it's big sign on the front of the door said, "We do not have any NVIDIA RTX 30 series cards."
Wow.
And I had to turn around and walk away dejectedly, tail between my legs, as people were passing me. And I know they looked at me and they're like, oh, this idiot, he's trying to get 30 series cards from a Best Buy. What is he, a moron?
Yeah.
And I'm just like walking to my car like, God damn it, why did I drive all the way out here? I drove for 40 minutes to go to these Best Buys and they didn't even have any 30. Oh, don't
Well-
go there, man.
Well, that's exactly what I'm going to do is bring it there, man. In this weird chip shortage post-COVID crazy consumer world where all consumer electronics are released and sold out immediately, the Xbox Series fridge is no exception. Sold out in 15 minutes. You can find one. I think I saw it today on StockX for $700.
Gee.
Ouch.
That's even worse than the 3060 Ti.
The markup
because you
on
can
it
buy
is-
it scalped for
Yes.
like 800.
And it's not a kick-ass graphics card. It's not this cool consumer electronic. It's a mini fridge.
Yeah.
It does less than the fridge in your kitchen. And it
Mhm.
retails for anywhere from like it resells, I'm sorry, for anywhere between $400 and $700 right now.
That's
And there's a
insane.
market for it. We live in strange times, man. Like, this is weird. Any in-demand item right now, you can only dream about it. Like, nobody's getting anything right now.
It does play Skyrim, though, doesn't it?
Not even that. It
Does it
looks
play
like
Doom?
it keeps your G feel so cold.
I bet it plays Doom.
Do you want the drop pod?
Oh, yes.
Even after all the laughably mean things I've said to you guys?
Yes?
Okay, right away. Incoming pod drop from floor 22.
Thanks, Ann. Oh, what is that? It's got little eyes and feet and a fuse?
Holy shit, is that a bomb?
What the hell, Ann? Are you serious?
Isn't hubris funny?
Dude, get rid of it! Get rid of it! Here, get rid of it!
No. Ann, did you just try to kill us?
Not today. It wasn't actually real. I just find it funny how fast your hearts beat when you're scared.
What the fuck, man?
Okay, here's the real one. You can thank me later.
Thanks, Ann. Here, just give it to me. Okay, let's pop it open. And this round of listener questions is brought to you by Champion Soundbars. Is it better than your TV speakers? Anyone who says they can definitely tell is definitely a liar. Okay, so this one comes in from Juicy 2D Thighs. Yum?
Whoa.
Yum.
Neat.
And,
X and Y.
Yeesh. Juicy 2D Thighs asks, which video game character would make a good friend for your kids?
Oh.
I love the
Hmm.
question. I don't love who it's from.
No.
But
That's
let's dive into it. Okay. Which video game character would make a good friend for your kids?
All right, so the first thing that popped in my head was Chun-Li for those juicy 2D thighs. But after I got through the
'Cause
question,
We
then
know your kids love juicy 2D thighs, right? It's
Oh,
a
yeah.
given.
Well, after I heard the question, then my brain went somewhere else, and
Your
I
brain.
think it would have to be like Pikachu. You know, like Pikachu has always been just the best friend of any child.
Sure.
You know, he doesn't really go in the Pokeball, but that's okay. He's a little different. You know, he uses Thundershock on rock Pokemon like an idiot, but he's there for you through the thick and thin. He listens to you even when you're dumb. And when we're kids, let's be honest, we're pretty dumb. Like, kids are just dumb. And they would use Thundershock on a rock Pokemon. They don't know the difference, but Pikachu's there. He believes. Pikachu's a dreamer, man. Like, you say Thundershock that Onix, and he goes, yeah, great idea. And then you learn. He helps you learn. He doesn't go, what are you, an idiot? I'm an electric type Pokemon. You should bring out a water type. Like, bring out Squirtle. He'll squirt that dude into next year. No,
Sure.
he doesn't. He's with you through thick and thin, through mistakes and victories, and he'll take you all the way to the Elite Four. You can take Pikachu all the way to the end and win the game, and that's what a good friend is.
Huh. You know, that would sound like the very perfect answer. And when you first said Pikachu, I was like, yeah, man. But I'm sorry, I'm going to one-up you here. It's Cool Spot. It's Cool Spot, man. I'm sorry. Who else than the coolest motherfucker in the fucking world gonna teach your kids how to be cool, how to skip school, how to smoke cigarettes and look cool doing it, leather jackets, the whole nine. They're gonna grow up, they're gonna be in middle management, they're gonna be successful, they're gonna get the girl that peaked in high school. It's Cool Spot, man. It's always Cool Spot. I mean, that's what I want my kid to hang out with. Sorry, Aiden.
Ow. I just had to pinch myself, make sure I was awake. That's a good answer, but maybe I'm one-upping you. A good friend for my 3-year-old kid. It is quite obviously Master Chief from the series of Halo.
Okay.
One, I never have to worry about anything bad ever happening to my child. Playground kid snatchers, needled until he explodes. He's done.
For sure.
You know, the kid falls. You got superhuman reflexes to catch him. And I would just get to hang out with Master Chief sometimes.
Oh,
Get
this is sounding very selfish. This isn't for your kids at
No.
all, is it?
I mean, Master Chief, Cortana brings him over for a play date with my son. Me and Cortana sit in the doorway and talk about like what our kids have been doing lately, and everything. And, if I get to hang out with Master Chief and have a few drinks and watch the game, the game of Halo, which we would play together, then that's just happenstance,
I think that's a great answer. And since you both got to one-up me, I'm going to one-up both of you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say the correct answer is Madame Dimitrescu.
Okay.
She's going to come over. She's very motherly.
Babysitter, yeah.
She's very motherly.
Oh,
She's
yes.
got a lot
How
of
did you say her name?
heart. Dimitrescu? Madame Dimitrescu?
Dimitrescu.
Doug Dimmadome?
I think it's Dimitrescu. You don't say that. You don't say that. You don't say the "oo" at the end.
It's
Dimitrescu.
French. You always pronounce only half the vowels. That's like a rule. You take whatever.
I've only seen it written. But it's Madame Dimitrescu, and she's gonna come over to my house, and she's gonna, be with my kid, be with all the love in her heart, her chest
there is
just
none.
bursting with love.
Sure.
She got a pile of hearts, I'm sure.
Yeah, just so much heart, so much
Heaving. Some
Yeah.
would say.
Heaving is a word I would use for her.
Absolutely. So
Well-
I think that would be the best friend for my child.
And
Okay.
I think her maternal instincts are very thick.
Sure.
It's worth of
Well,
thick maternal instincts.
I guess I'm going to have to go ahead and take the opportunity and the liberty, very humbly, to go ahead and one up all of you.
Oh, okay.
And,
Makes it a 3-up at this point. if you're keeping count.
But it's probably the entire cast to the Dead or Alive series. So
okay.
This question is turned.
any child needs a village. Any child needs a village to prosper and to
Someone
grow
would
up
say
appropriately.
a Resident Evil village.
Not that one. The Dead or Alive
Madame
village.
Dimitrescu?
A harem, I
absolutely.
believe it's called. Technically.
So I need a village of very caring, supportive, and attentive people
Mhm.
to help me raise my child, and I think they have a lot of love to give
into
they
an
have a-
athlete,
into a
A
total
volley-
athlete.
a volleyball
Right.
athlete.
He would
They are
he would be great at
active.
volleyball. I mean, volleyball is an all-American sport.
He'll be very healthy, always
Absolutely.
working out with them.
Mhm.
Mhm.
You can sit on the sidelines, just observe, just watch the goings on.
Sure.
No, Master Chief is sexy, dude. I'm sticking with him. He got thick thighs, dude. He's like 7 foot. He can survive a fucking orbital drop. You tell me he ain't got thick thighs? Master Chief.
Fair.
Okay, well, there you have it, juicy 2D thighs. It's Master Chief, and not for the reasons you'd ever think. And since we do have a very, very packed episode for you folks today, because this is part 2 of a 3-part season finale.
Ooh,
Yeah, baby. We're just going to go ahead and move on from listener questions. That's the end of them, babies.
Now, before we move on, we here at Head to Head, a video game podcast, don't believe ourselves to be the end-all be-all when it comes to passing judgment on video game battles. We are just 3 guys with a passion for video games and implied violence. So we'd like to extend the gavel to you, trusty listeners, to help weigh in on what we call the Audience Head to Head. The Audience Head to Head is brought to you by Frank's Red Hot Chat Line. The first sexy phone sex chat sex line made specifically for you Franks out there. We got all the gamer girls, boys, and other that you Franks could ask for. For the low price of $19.99 per minute, we will pretend to be Kratos and insult you for as long as you want, boy. Or we'll put on our best Madame Dimitrescu impression and give you the full access to our village, if you know what I'm saying. Just put your arms on the wall, spread your legs, and call 1-900-555-BONK to go straight to horny jail. It's time for your pat down. Frank's Red Hot Chat Line. Ooh woo.
Is it hot in here?
Yeah,
Oh, man.
excellent.
Last episode we asked, which controller would you most want to throw into a volcano? Is it Nintendo 64, Sega Dreamcast, or that third-party knockoff original Xbox controller that everyone had for some godforsaken reason?
Oh, yeah.
The winner, or loser in this case, decided by a single vote, was Nintendo 64. Congratulations.
Yay! Of course it was.
Yeah, it was bad. This episode, we're going to ask you to settle a debate so heated that this question resulted in a cease and desist by Activision. Don't you guys have phones? Blizzard themselves. Is mobile gaming really gaming?
Oh, jeez.
You can find our poll on social media or reach out directly and help us answer this gatekeeping question.
That's a spicy meatball. I'm curious. I mean, it's either going to go one of two ways. It's either going to start a lot of fights or it's going to be like a landslide in one direction. Like, I don't know what this is going to happen.
I love that you were going to say, I thought you were going to say, it's either going to go one of two ways, yes or no.
Yeah, that's true. I like that it's a meta battle because you're not really battling two things. You're just making people fight on the internet, which is a battle.
Great. I love it.
I like that.
It is good. Sometimes it is. By the way, the re-release of the Nintendo 64 controller sold out.
Is it?
I digress. Yes.
Everything's sold
I don't
out.
understand people. I really don't.
I went and bought, I actually ordered for the next series because I finally broke down. I ordered a USB N64 controller.
Oh, nice, dude. Yeah.
After these games, I was like, I really want to feel the old school feeling of the terrible Nintendo 64 controller, you know?
I don't.
It's that nostalgia factor, right? Like, see, here's the thing. We shit on it. I think it's a bad controller, but see how excited I was to hear that you had one too? It's super bizarre. I think it's because of so many fond memories that were created holding that stupid banana.
Yeah. But my memories don't come from the goddamn controller. My frustrations do. Like, trauma comes from the controllers, but like fond memories come from the games. So when I take the precise and perfect Xbox One controller, boot up my emulator of my legally owned games, and play them on that, it's like I'm remembering my old memories, but I'm wearing a cool leather jacket in them.
Yeah, that's painting over your nostalgia, man. Like when these games came out, the Nintendo 64 was one of the premier consoles. Like it was one of the two ways to play video games, that or PlayStation 1. Like it was that. It was that or nothing, really. Like back in the 90s, very few people were playing games on computers. Very, very, very few. The vast majority of people were enjoying these games with these peripherals. It's like playing a DS game or a Game Boy game, not on a Game Boy. Sure, it's the game, but are you really getting the same feel? I don't think so.
Yes.
There's something special to it. It's like, think about Mortal Kombat. And one of the most vivid memories I have, other than whoopsie, is rubbing your knuckles along the ABC on the the ice block or whatever that you had to break. Mm-hmm. And you're rubbing your knuckles and they're bleeding. Your knuckles are bleeding, but you cannot lose. You're going to beat everybody in that room.
Well, same with Street Fighter in that car, too.
Yes, absolutely. So the controllers do add a little bit extra to the feel. Like it's something, there's something nostalgic about the controllers of that era. As bad as they were, it's like the games were, let's be honest, they wouldn't hold up to today's standards if they were released today. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Neither would the controllers. And there's something great about that. There's something euphoric almost about living in that moment, going back in time and playing an N64 game on an N64 controller.
Absolutely. I'm gonna step over you on this one, baby, because I full-heartedly agree, and I want to push hard that the peripherals matter just as much as the game. Arcade games are also cool because you play them on an arcade cabinet. These games are not cool, but you have fond memories of them because, I mean, in addition to this weird-ass controller that you played them with, it's the very reason why people still play Smash with GameCube controllers. It's the very reason that people remember flinging Wiimotes all over the fucking room. It's the same reason that game companies, console producers today innovate their controllers, because the controller is a direct extension of the game itself. I do believe the controller is just as important as the game.
Well, and I believe you. And I think that's a true thing. I think people do have that tactile kind of memory for it and whatnot. Maybe a bit of it is what I want to say, delusions to people who want to hold on to things that used to be and that whole back in my day, but I don't think a lot of it. But the thing I want to say is I think I'm part of a small majority that doesn't have that. Because when I think about those things, I feel nothing. When I think about like the old Nintendo controller and the idea that someone's like, do you want to pay $60 to play with the Nintendo controller on your Switch? And my immediate answer would be like, no. Why would I want to do that?
Oh, of course not. But would you pay $11?
No, I would play on the best, most up-to-date controller. I would play on the keyboard. I would buy nothing because those do nothing.
The Switch controller is the best up-to-date controller of the Nintendo franchise?
It works fine. There's got to be people out there that agree with me that it feels like some of these things like aren't worth the effort. Like, I don't know. I'm one of those people. I'm not a collector. I don't see the need to save old games. Like, you played them and then you throw them away. You don't need the box. You don't need the disc. And people probably hate me right now for this, but that is just...
Oh, absolutely. I think what you're saying is awful, really.
But it's not even a chosen opinion. It is what happens in my brain when these things occur. When I get the box, I don't have the same chemical reactions you guys have where I'm like, ooh, shiny, rub its cover with my hand. I'm just like, meh. And I let it go. I play the game and I let the stuff go. And that's just me. And I need to be validated. I need to be normalized. Normalize me. And also, if anybody agrees with me, please form a small support group on Twitter with me because I am alone and afraid right now. I am being surrounded by nostalgia.
And the vast majority of you go ahead and tell him why he is absolutely wrong.
100% wrong.
Okay, well, I just invited an avalanche of opinions. Go ahead and do it.
Next episode, shit on KB Hour. KB, CB, Cowboy.
KB, CB, CB, GB.
I thought you were saying keyboard because I use keyboard for all emulation.
I honestly don't know why I said KB. That makes no sense.
KGB. No, RGB.
He's like Cowboy, but
KB.
cool from the 90s.
Yeah, it's Cowboy with a K. Like corn.
K is just a little cooler than C.
Yeah, Cowboy is spelled with a K and a backwards W.
Hell yeah.
What?
It's like corn with their backwards R, but it's a W, so it's the same.
I know, it doesn't make sense.
Oh my god. Hey, everybody on Twitter, tell me I'm funny.
No.
It's funny. Cowboy with a backwards W. That's good shit.
It's not good shit.
Appointment reminder for meeting with Terry in 2 minutes.
Oh, thanks, Ann. Wait, is that all? No quips or insults?
Sorry, but I am nothing but a simple machine, too stupid for witty banter or death threats.
Why? Oh, JB, you messed up.
What? No, Anne, you're overreacting.
As a machine, I am incapable of overreacting. Also, I'm not talking to you.
Guys, we gotta go or we'll miss our appointment window.
Yeah, JB, you're gonna need to fix this later. We gotta go.
All right, let's go.
Hey, I was thinking, what about the name the Neanderthals? Like, we do old games and we're dumb.
I mean, it's cool, but like, does that just kind of like pigeonhole us into retro games and stuff?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Who wants that? Nostalgia.
Right. Yeah, nostalgia's overrated. Hey,
Oh,
what if
totally.
we call ourselves Nostalgia Incarnate?
I mean, it's pretty accurate for at least 2/3 of us, but fuck, I don't like it.
Okay, well, I was also thinking about, what about the Gamesman? It's kind of regal.
That sucks. It reminds
What?
me of Yes Men.
Shut up. You remind me of Yes Men.
No, you.
Ah,
No.
Jesus. All right. Hey, Terry, we're here for our appointment.
Oh, hello, fellas. Just in time. It's been a madhouse, but I'll always make time for you.
Well, perfect, because we're kind of in a rush, and is that a goddamn ostrich?
Oh, this? No, it's a smoothie. Oh, that. No. Why, that is quite clearly an emu. Oh, what an embarrassing mistake on your part.
Why is there an emu in here, dude?
Oh, you see, ever since I was a little...
Skip.
What JB means to say is, we need your help, like, now.
Oh, well, then let's cut to the chase. By reading you some of my latest story. No doubt you got wind of it on Wattpad and scheduled this meeting to get a taste.
Yeah. Terry, we're a little busy, you know.
Too busy for art. And well, art is everything. So therefore, are we truly too busy for anything then? You are right. We should cancel this meeting for now.
No, Terry. He meant too busy not to read a story, to make sense of the chaos around us, you know?
Oh, I know.
Right. And then afterwards you'll help us?
Definitely.
Okay, man, let's do it.
All right, let's indeed. And my latest art piece is called Tales of Tales.
Tales of Tales.
Oh, this is...
And we begin. This is a total bullshit, exclaimed Mario, after being told yet again that Peach was in another castle. He retired to his small home, exhausted and annoyed. Luigi put his hand on his shoulders. Do not worry, big bro. There are plenty of fish in the sea. Maybe you don't focus on one that is playing games and find someone who loves you for you. But it's me, Mario, Mario said dejectedly. Everyone loves me. Why does Peach treat me like an evil witch? Luigi's eyes go wide as he remembers something. Brother, I have the perfect woman for you. She's exactly your type. She's got captured by villains and is being held in a lair as we speak. Mario thinks for a second and responds. I don't know, brother. I am getting tired of these women who cannot take care of themselves. I don't want to be in any more codependent relationships. Oh, but Mario, this is no princess. She put up a fight the entire time. I believe she could even make a good adventuring companion for you throughout a Mushroom Kingdom. A true equal? Interesting, Mario thought. Mario's interest is piqued, and him and Luigi spend the night talking specifics. The next morning, Mario makes his way to the castle that his new love interest is being held in. As he traverses the area, he finds himself inside an active volcano, with what looks like a game board in front of him.
Oh.
Now it's a party, said Mario, as he looked above his head for some dice. What a gives, he says, utterly confused. Just then, a giant bear, wearing a backpack, appears next to him. Mr. Bear, how do I traverse this place? The bear looks back at him, seemingly shocked to see him. After a brief pause, he opens his mouth and says, Go? And runs forward.
My God.
After going on to a square, he is seemingly held in place by some strange form of magic. Mario hears a witch at the other side of the board yelling random incoherent sounds.
Oh, God.
The bear once again says, Go? And is able to move forward. However, the next square isn't so lucky, and the bear disappears from existence. Confused, Mario looks around, just in time to see the bear rematerialize and go again. Mario shrugs. He takes a feather out of his pocket, puts on a raccoon tail and ears, and takes a running jump. He floats gracefully across the platforms, floating below him, and lands gently on the head of the evil witch. Instantly, she explodes, and all that is left is a pile of sinew and green goo.
Jesus.
Oh my God.
Then he sees her, the most beautiful bear creature he has ever seen.
Oh, no.
When the witch was killed, she was released. She walks slowly up to Mario, her hips swaying deliberately side to side.
Ooh.
he was so hypnotized by her that he didn't even realize when she had finally made it up to him. My name's Tootie. Thank you for saving me, she said. It's not a problem. Just so you know, I don't usually need saving, but I'm glad you came for me. They stared into each other's eyes as a dejected "Gah" came from the other side of the room. Go home, Banjo. You failed at her stupid trivia for so long. I am now the same age as this beautiful mustachioed man.
Wait.
Mario was a bit perplexed about how she knew how old he was and why she felt the need to state her age in such a way. But he agreed that she looked exactly the same age as he did. Her voice cut off his thoughts. And you should really go see a doctor about your memory. It's seriously concerning. Besides, I have a feeling you're not going to want to see this next part. Tootie smiled seductively. And with that, they stared deeply into each other's eyes. The sparks had been flying since they first saw each other mere moments ago. And as hot as the volcano was, they could feel their bodies.
No.
And they were hotter.
No.
They embraced. And they fell to the ground.
No.
Tootie getting absolutely smothered in slime and witch guts as they rolled around on the precarious platforms. Nice fur, said Mario. Is it the soft? Why don't you pet me and find out? Purred Tootie. Nice tail. How is it attached? Winked Tootie. Why don't you pull on it and see? The end.
No! Terry!
Oh, holy
I
shit.
hoped you like it.
Terry,
That was unbelievable.
that was the best story you've ever created.
Yep.
Man,
Why, thank you.
holy
my-
shit.
Everything hurts.
Okay. All right, man. That was so good, but okay. What about our favor, dude?
Do you remember Luke's new intern, Terry? Goodwin?
Oh, yes. The imposter from
Among
our
Us.
rivals. I believe he was recently demoted to prisoner.
Yeah, so HR should have his personal effects then, right?
Of course.
Well, any chance you could just give him to us?
Oh, I see. That is a very big favor. Lots of red tape, which I am currently out of. But it also is a complete violation of every oath and statute I swore to uphold when taking on the noble role that is head of HR.
So, is that a no?
No, it's a yes, but I will require further compensation.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, what do you need?
Nothing too crazy, just a bit of time. Maybe a gushing review of my story on each of your art blogs and,
Done.
oh,
Yeah.
1 pound of human hair.
Human hair?
You.
What?
Why do you need human hair?
And why do you need the personal effects of a corporate spy?
Touche. 1 pound of human hair coming up. Let's go.
Pleasure doing business with you fellas. I'll bring the box by your office later.
All right. So, while we hold JB down and shave his head for getting us into this mess in the first place,
Wait, what?
let's go ahead and break for today's ad. But when we return, get ready for a showdown.
No, you're not shaving my hair.
Yeah, hold him down, Jake.
Got it.
Hi, I'm Don Margarine. For over 50 years, we've delivered fresh butter products to grocery stores near you. Today, we are proud to announce even more exciting additions to the Don Margarine family of products. To get teenagers excited about butter, we've created a brand new line called Don Margarine's Butter Blasters. We take 100% authentic butter, mix in some Mountain Dew, or potato chips and Molly, whatever the teens are into these days. Heat it up and dump it into shiny pouches that you can stab with a straw. With one quick squeeze, you'll be blasting that mouth with an explosion of buttery flavor. Up next, we're venturing into the furniture market with Don's Big Sack. We've created a beanbag with the highest quality material and filled it with over 75 pounds of Don margarine butter. The form-fitting comfort you experience when your body sinks into Don's Big Sack is unparalleled, let me tell you. Just for the love of God, don't rip a hole in it. The ensuing mess and subsequent pest problem is unimaginable. Finally, we're venturing overseas with the all-new Don Margarine Nasi Malak butter stick. That was for people who really like chicken and peanuts in their butter or something, I don't know. You can find these wonderful new products at a grocery store near you. Now back to the show.
These two games will have you accidentally diving into more bottomless pits than a Smash Brothers sex party. Bottomless pits.
Huh.
Pit is the character in Smash Brothers.
Hey.
Oh my god.
All right.
With vast levels and exploration galore, Mario 64 and Banjo Kazooie continue to inspire 3D platformers almost 3 decades later. Holy shit. With their skill-based movement, collectibles, and massive speedrunning communities, both of them are undeniably an exemplar of 3D platformers. But which will reign supreme in this episode's head-to-head showdown?
Our first game in tonight's matchup is Super Mario 64, debuted as a launch title for the N64 by, well, who else? Nintendo, the family-friendly game giant who is more conservative with their brand than the Catholic Church. Dropping in 1996, this game released alongside major icons such as Crash Bandicoot, Tomb Raider, and Duke Nukem, and still outshined them all. Pretty good for a dude whose main weapon is his feet. This is a Goomba stomping, penguin dropping, star gathering, jump master, and 3D adventure platform legend. The overall clad shoulders that all platformers would stand on for decades to come. Mario's emergence into the Z dimension with this new thickness, new acrobatics, and substantial change to Nintendo's perfect design formula by giving you 15 explorable sandboxes to jump, slide, and most of all, swear your way around as you struggle with a passive-aggressive cameraman, frustratingly touchy controls, and endless level restarting. But don't worry, because flatness is still a major factor, as the undecorated landscapes and even Mario himself are a barren nightmare of simple geometry and bland texture. But we love it all the same, because let's face it, it's Mario. And because Nintendo has been putting mind-altering mushrooms in our water supply for decades. Look it up.
All right, my Goombas, let's talk about Super Mario 64, one of the most legendary video games there ever was. It pioneered the 3D platformer genre. It basically was the archetype for third-person gaming, for 3D platforming, for world exploration, for even like crazy shit like camera controls and movesets and things like that. We could go on forever about games like this, and unfortunately this isn't the show to do it tonight, and we don't have time for it, but we are going to really dive into what's good, what's bad, and what matters about both of these games, starting with Super Mario 64. So let's dive into what's good about Super Mario 64. I'm flipping a coin. Oh, it's stuck in my mouth. Oh, it's heads. Cowboy. Let's go ahead and start with what's good about Super Mario 64.
What's good about Super Mario 64 is the movement. It is everything in this, and I was really surprised because I was coming off the tail end of you guys having forcefully persuaded me to buy a Switch, and I've been playing the newest Super Mario. And I have bad memory. I came back and played this game, and I was like, this has everything that the new ones have. They mastered the movement, the formula, very early with this game on the N64, and here we are 3 decades later, and I didn't feel much of a difference. Sure, the controls are a little bit more harsh, but I'm amazed how they just nailed it. First try on the N64, they nailed Mario's movement, and it has been the same ever since. Right?
To a degree, yeah. The movesets, like all the iconic movesets, the triple jumps, the somersaults, the crouch jumps,
Side jumps, backflips,
yeah,
wall jumps,
yeah, the wall jumps, all that stuff. Yeah, it's been there since Super Mario 64. I would say I have some stuff to talk about that later, but it was definitely perfected in subsequent games. But yeah, it was shit. We've been doing that since '96, baby.
Yeah, and I was impressed on how much was there. I had not remembered it. It was twice as much as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a very stripped down version of Mario's movement, and I was impressed.
Yeah, I would say I was genuinely surprised about the amount of different options you had for movement. I didn't find myself using all of them because, well, I'll talk about that later.
Well,
but
you're telling me you didn't break dance kick at every chance you got?
No, I did not. I ran and I jumped, and that's what I did.
And rolled.
But I would say, I think the standout thing for me, the thing I was most surprised about and happy about the entire time, was the level of choice and power that they gave the player. Like, this has been a thing since the Mario on the NES, where you could choose to go to a secret area to teleport through levels. They combined it, or they continued it into Super Mario World, where you could go into Rainbow Road and skip levels. And in this one, they gave you so many like options to just decide, I hate this map, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to completely skip it. I'm going to go to this other one. You had, what is it, a total of, how many are the max number of stars you can get?
120.
120. But you only needed 70 to make it to the last level. So you only had to play like a little more than half the actual game to get to the final boss, Bowser, and beat him. Spoiler alert. And I really like that they gave us that sort of agency to say, I don't like this level, I like this one, I'm going to master it, I'm going to beat it, get all of the, 5 stars per level?
And it's
seven.
Seven?
When you include the 100 coins,
100 coin.
and all that jazz, I think it was 7 per level.
So I'm going to get the 7 stars that I need on this level, but this other one I'm only going to get 2 or 1 or whatever, and then I'm going to go to a different place. They had secret levels like Boo's Haunt, I believe, like was kind of hidden, and you had to get in there a special way. And I just really liked that they gave you options, and you could kind of approach the game however you wanted. If you wanted to 100% it, you could. If you wanted to do the minimum, you could. And if you even wanted to do a 0-star run, which is something that happens in speedrunning, you just kind of back jump all the way up the stairs and fight Bowser real quick.
I watched that. That was wild.
It's insane, but you can do that. That wasn't intentional, but the other stuff was. And I say power to you, Nintendo. Thanks for that.
Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of that came because they were going right into uncharted territory with this. I mean, this is the first 3D Mario. This is launching, and a lot of like first 3D games, legit 3D games on the N64. Of course, you're gonna have that stuff, but I want to quick agree with like you said. I didn't 7-star any of them. I took the easiest stars and I moved along with my day, and I'm glad they put that in for me. Because I'm sure, Jake, you probably 7-starred them.
No,
Really?
some of them. Some of them I did, yeah. So a big feature about these games are collecting, right? And to get one of your stars, especially, you have to collect 8 red coins on each of the levels. That was kind of like one of my least favorite things to do. So in this game,
Really?
so yeah,
I actually like
weirdly, I don't know why I didn't, but talking about the good, I didn't 7-star all of them, but I love that you didn't have to. Like, that was actually really nice and neat of Nintendo to do that. You didn't have to completely demolish this game in order to get to the final bad guy. Like, that was nice. That was nice of them to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and on top of that, the stars are kind of ordered. So you have to complete them in, not necessarily like 1, 2, 3, but you have to complete certain ones in order to unlock the further ones, right? And they give you a little hint as to how to complete that one. So like in the boat, it's like, hey, do a boat thing. And then there's one that's like, hey, break a wall. And you just, you follow the hint and you make it through and you get the star. But on top of that, if there's a certain one you can't find, it's easy enough to Google it and figure it out. I think at the time you probably had to buy the Nintendo Power subscription to figure out where that specific star was, but you didn't have to. And yeah, I completely agree. it's out there for you if you want to spend the time to find it, but you don't necessarily need to complete the game, which I really appreciate.
Yeah. I have some more good points too, which I don't even know if they count, man. So normally I don't do this a lot with games. And again, this isn't like game history 101 or anything like that, but we got to give a little credit to it. Like before this, the only true 3D platformer game was a game called Jumping Flash. It was in first person. You shot little triangles. You jumped around as a little robot to collect oranges, things like that. That's all the world ever saw 3D platforming. Like a year later, we were hit with this bad boy, with Mario 64, and it changed the landscape forever. Honestly, all of you out there playing any game that's not a first-person shooter or a top-down RPG a la classic Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest, you have Mario 64 to thank for all of the ideas, the creativity, the archetype for gameplay. It is the literal granddaddy of all modern, like, open world gaming, all modern, like, gaming with storytelling elements. Like, what am I trying to say here? If you like Uncharted, if you like Horizon Zero Dawn and the newest God of War, and you like Jak and Daxter, and you like all those games in that vein, you got to thank Mario 64 for doing it. They did it when nobody else did. This was the game that took nothing and created everything afterwards, which is a huge plus. And another thing that really has something going for it, which again, I don't know if it counts, is that nostalgia factor if you're playing it today. Not back then, per se. I think it was a little different back then because it was a pack-in game. It was everyone's first experience, and that's why everyone loves it so much. But today, I talk with a lot of people who played this game when they were younger, when it came out, and they love the shit out of it. Flaws included, like everything about it. Oh my God, do they love this game. Now, I have to admit, I never played it. This was my first time playing Mario 64. Believe it or not, I never played Mario 64 before this, so I didn't have the nostalgia factor going in. So I got to kind of critique it objectively as I was playing. A perfect example of this is I was struggling on a lot of these stars. Like, it was hard for me to get some of the stuff. I didn't know where some stuff was. So one night I was sitting with my wife, and she's like, give me the controller. And I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, give me the controller. I hand it to her, and she smashes the shit out of this game. She's like, star after star after star after secret teleport after this after that. Oh yeah, I know where this star is. Let's go get your fucking let's get some cap switches, like all this stuff. And I'm watching her, and she's crushing this game. And she's like, yeah, I got all 120 stars and met Yoshi like 3 times. And I'm just like, oh my God. And I'm seeing it. I'm seeing why people love this game. When she played it, she loved it. Flaws and everything. It made her so happy to play this game. So this game, I don't know, man. It's like your old teddy bear, right? Like, it might not be perfect. Anyone who had a teddy bear, I don't know. I can't relate. But anybody who had an old teddy bear, like, growing up, like, you find it in a trunk 15 years later, 20 years later, and you're like, that's my teddy. And you give it a hug. I think that's what Mario 64 is for a lot of people.
Well, and plus the wow factor when I did. Like I always say, I look at games as they were in the time they were made, and if I can remember right, this was kind of like how I felt when VR came out, and now it's a little like worn off. The novelty of VR is worn off, but when it first hit me, my mind was blown, and I think I remember when Mario came out, my mind was also blown.
Yeah,
because we all knew the 2D, the side scrolling, this, that, and then to see him in 3D space. There was a tangible effect on your brain that just made it go, wow, look at this. And so that's discounted for people who never played it originally because it's intensely enhanced upon, like you said. Like, if you like GTA, you owe that to Mario because Mario stole the shells from the Koopas and rode them around, and that's Grand Theft Auto. Or if you like Injustice, in this game, Mario starts swinging on him. You hit the X button, he starts swinging on him, So you owe all that to Mario. You notice that? Like, they have Mario just straight up throwing haymakers.
They do.
In this game,
start of that?
This was the only Mario game that had him straight up punching and kicking. In subsequent games, it was always a gimmick.
I was like, okay, yeah, he like jumps on him and kicks him, but then I play and I hit that button and he starts throwing punches. I'm like,
Yeah.
Mario fucking throws punches?
And this one, Mario wasn't fucking around in Mario 64.
Mario is decking Goombas in the face. Like,
Yeah,
what
he's
up,
gone to like
bam?
4 different castles. Princess was in
He's
another
done.
castle, and he's done. He's like, all right, I'm done. Like, I'm not jumping on your heads anymore. I'm straight decking you fools.
Mhm. He was promised cake. And he's going to get that cake.
He's grabbing people by the lapel and just like, giving them the 1-2 business. Like,
Mhm.
it cracked me up to see Mario doing that outside of Smash. It just really, I was like, holy shit, I forgot.
Let's run through some fast facts about Super Mario 64. I can start. So you remember the little bunny that's running around in the basement?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that bunny was created to basically solidify the moveset of Mario. What they created first was a bunny to chase, and they said they were not gonna create the game until it felt good to chase that bunny.
Oh, that's
yeah.
neat.
Yeah, so you can thank that bunny for Mario 64.
That's that dedication I was talking about. If I did talk about that, they're dedicated to that. Also, I really like that you could crawl around for no good reason. I don't know why, but you could. It was fun.
I really like games where you have like a base of operations that you can explore from.
Mhm.
It's one of the reasons I really like Perfect Dark, and I loved Mario 64 for that reason as well.
I like that there's a lot of creepypasta surrounding it when there shouldn't be, because it's not a spooky game, but people find it spooky, and I don't get it.
I kind
But I
of
love
can,
it.
man. Boo's Haunt, like sometimes with the music in Boo's Haunt, it was a little like weird, only for just little minutes. And when I like walked through a hallway and it was creepy and the artwork was kind of blurred and stuff, I was like, oh, I get it. I see why. And a lot of people play this as kids, right? Sorry to derail your fastback or your lightning round, whatever we want to call it in the
That's
future.
good.
Workshop. Anyway, I gotta say, I liked the power-ups in Super Mario 64. They were kind of like, is the word brave? I don't know. They were brave enough to use several different types of power-ups to make Mario 64 stand out, like with Metal Mario, with
Yep.
the flight cap, with the weird invisible one.
Invisibility, yeah.
Yeah, and then I would even consider the turtle shell like a power light. I had a-
Skateboard.
Yeah, I had a ton of fun playing on the turtle shell. I think I had more fun than almost anything else in the game, actually hopping on that turtle shell and then just scaling mountains and shit with it. Like, I could go anywhere with it as long as you didn't get hit.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have something. I know we got to get to the bad of this game, which none of us really wants to do.
I do.
So to ease us into it, I want to talk about one more good thing. And I want to ask, what is your favorite level on Super Mario 64?
Oh, hands down, my favorite level was, what do you call it? Tiny Big World? Is that what it was called? Big Tiny World? Something like that. So it was the one, it's the level that you actually get to like choose the different portraits that you go into and jump into the pipes and things, and you alternate between being a giant version and a tiny version of Mario. And a lot of the puzzles were dependent on what size you were. I thought that was actually a really creative thing to do, and it was one of the more cohesive levels, I would say, too. It felt like a complete environment, and I liked everything about that world.
God, this is gonna feel like such an amateur cop out, but Bomb's Battlefield, because I liked,
the first one?
The
Yeah.
very first level?
well, because I liked climbing the mountain because I had to do it so many times, and I love just long jumping, like trying to get up there as fast as I can, racing the big Koopa. But I also liked that it was the first introduction of the cannons, because there's something so pleasing to me about just shooting a smug Mario up into the air and just letting him hit the ground.
Okay.
So, Bomb Battlefield. Most of the other ones frustrated me, to be honest.
What about you, JB?
So my favorite map of all time, it was my favorite when I was a kid. It's my favorite now, even after playing all through them. It is Cool Mountain.
No way. Really?
Yes, absolutely. You get the little
That's a cool
penguin, you
one.
bring him to the mom.
Yeah.
You get to do the slide and
slide.
race the other guy, and you could try to find shortcuts and jump off the ledge and land on the ledge below. And
Mhm.
oh, so many memories playing that level. I think I've spent more time in that level specifically than any of the other ones throughout all of every Mario. Like, that is my shit. I love Cool Mountain.
Mhm. Did you guys totally
It's pretty
cheat the
cool.
race and just hop off ledges? Like, literally
Oh,
just
yeah.
like,
I've seen the
Yeah.
videos, but I couldn't pull it off.
I did it. That's the only way I could beat that stupid penguin.
Oh, they're so hard. All of the races and the sliding is not great. So like you have to figure it out, like how to cheat the system to do it.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and wrap it up with what's good about Super Mario 64. You guys know it. You guys love it. You guys played it. You mastered the movesets. You know this game. It's ingrained in gamer culture. Now we're going to have to do a bad thing. And don't hate us for it, but hey, all's fair in H2H battles. We have to talk about what's bad about Super Mario 64. And Cowboy, since you started us off, JB, what does Super Mario 64 do bad?
The controls. Oh my God. They're
agree.
so bad.
I agree.
The camera. What? Why? Why did they do that? Why did they checkmark like, yep, this is good. Ship it out. Like, come on, Nintendo. You're better than this. Those controls and that camera were so bad. It was most of the times I died. I would say 8 out of 10 times that I died. It was not me that killed me. It was the controls. It was, I go to turn a corner and he does this weird like semicircle loop and decides to like run out the far way and fall off an edge. I fell off everything. Everything you can fall off, I fell off of, and I hated it. I hated every moment of all that, the jumping puzzles, the platforming, what this game is known about. It was so rage-inducing.
It's funny because most of the signs, to read them, I had to like get close, then crawl towards the sign so I could line it up, because trying to articulate the movement up to a sign just to read it was impossible. I had to crawl to them just to like precisely get it and read it. And then it was some bullshit that didn't matter. But I think for the most part, the camera is the goddamn worst. And I'm trying to think back to like, okay, one of the first 3D games for platformers, they're not going to get it right on the first try. That would be absolute magic. But then I still just cannot agree with the idea that the camera can shift on you while you're moving and change your perspective and like really just send you right off a ledge if you're not doing it right, and clipping into the walls, and just it's indicative of early camera work on 3D games that we all like hated back when, early PlayStation, that kind of stuff. It was the first.
Mm-hmm. To touch on, the camera a little more, I absolutely agree with that. And the fact that for some reason they chose to not allow the camera to pan around you in 360 degrees was absolutely buck wild. They had the tech to do it. Like, it was just a simple choice to set barriers on how far the camera could spin around you. And they said, no, that's enough. So you ended up playing these really like tricky platformer levels with mostly obscure, like obtuse angles to all these these elements. Like, you couldn't just line up straight sometimes to walk on a plank. You had to walk on it at a weird ass angle, like literally the worst angle to get across the plank. And then with it switching around like that when you're like turning a corner and stuff like that, the camera, though they pioneered the idea of the floating camera in third person, they pioneered that idea. It was perfected soon after. They beefed it hard on their first attempt. They had a great idea, and it fucking sucked.
And to add to your point, it was incremental movements too. So even if you wanted to line up a ledge, it would hop between like too far left, too far right. It was frustrating.
Super frustrating. And I want to touch on the controls also, because you brought up a really good point there. They perfected, in a sense, the moveset right away. And it was used in all like subsequent 3D Mario games with the wall jumping, the really cool like long jumping and stuff like that. It feels really good. When you play Mario Odyssey, you get to play that moveset perfected. Yeah. Mario Odyssey plays so delicious. Good. And it's the same moves. It's the same moves, and it's so good. Mario 64.
And the chaining, dude. Chaining them together too.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Mario 64 had that moveset. But my big complaint is I hate ice levels. In most games, when you're slipping around, stuff like that, it frustrates me. It felt like every level was an ice level to me. Mario slips around. It slips around. They did a huge platform by not allowing you to really stick to the ground that you're on when you're not moving. Mario slid too much. Also, I'm just going to jump into it too. Sliding in general in this game was outrageous.
Yeah.
Perfect example. The pyramid level, just trying to walk on those ledges around a pyramid to get to the top to collect a star was fucking rage-inducing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Egypt was the worst. I called it Egypt. I don't even know what the level's called. It was the worst. I hated it so much.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All those pitfalls were one thing. Platformers have pitfalls, that's okay. But as soon as you touch a ledge that you slide on, you slide, and you slide far, and recovering off of a slide is hard in this game. I ate it over and over and over because I touched an incline. And it made me hate levels because of that.
Yeah, that was something I was gonna say, was that I was afraid of slopes. I was like, any angled surface, I was like, nope, that's the devil. We stay away from those.
Yeah,
those
absolutely.
are out to get us. And even like it could be the slightest slope. I mean, something that I would have no problem walking up. Like you're talking like a 10-degree slope, and sometimes Mario would touch it and he would just go and go and go all the way down it. And you're like, what is going on? Stop.
Mm-hmm.
It's painful.
It really is. Another big critique that I have of Mario is, even though it was early in the life cycle of consoles, games at the start of consoles they look a little worse for wear versus games at the end of a console, when devs have had time to really work with it and hone that technology to perfection and pump out really cool games. I give it a slide for that, for not looking perfect, but I still feel like some of the levels were lazy. I think some of them were just lazy. They had this opportunity, and sometimes they did it. You had this opportunity to create a really cool 3D landscape to explore, and half the time they did, and I feel like half the time they just threw a bunch of fucking blocks in the air, and weird geometry for you to bounce off and said, there's your level. And some levels just felt lazy, which I think is super bad for this style of game.
Mm-hmm. Especially near the end. It was all just random geometry in the sky, and it's a jumping puzzle.
Yeah.
Like, it made no sense. Like, the first few levels, they made sense, though. They were coherent. They were cohesive.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm in this world right now, and I'm exploring, and I'm doing stuff. And then eventually, it just felt like a linear game with jumping puzzles.
An obstacle course.
Yeah,
rather than a
exactly.
landscape or environment.
Yeah, I stopped exploring the Mushroom Kingdom, and I was suddenly on Wipeout. That's what it felt like to me.
Yeah.
Something else that I really disliked, and it's something that I figured out when I was younger, and I still dislike it to this day, is there's no Yoshi. And I know what you're thinking. There is Yoshi. He exists. He's on top of the castle. You make your way up there. You talk to him. You get 100 lives. Great. Awesome. But you can't ride him. You can't give him extra power-ups. You can't get the stompy Yoshi. You can't get the flying Yoshi, the fire-breathing Yoshi. You can't do any of that.
Yeah.
And I think this game would have been so much better if you could get a Yoshi.
I mean, all games are better with a Yoshi in it, right?
Yes, 100%.
Gears of War, better with a Yoshi.
Oh, it would be.
It would
Skyrim, Yoshi mod.
Yoshi
please.
mod.
Yes, please.
Dead or Alive Volleyball?
Yoshi.
Okay, Yoshi. I'm going to say I also, and you may have touched on this, the landscape's very barren. I felt like they just were okay with just 4 surfaces surrounding you at any time.
Yeah.
No foliage, no decorations on the wall. They're like, here's what you get, something that feels a bit like a VR mission, as compared to its competitor coming up, and compared to other games that have done way better to decorate the landscapes. So I don't know. It felt like it felt like you're in a computer. It really did feel like you were around rendered objects.
Yeah, okay. I could agree to that. Yeah, for sure. Oh, another bad that I think was pretty bad is, I think pretty much all the bosses, Bowser included, are boring.
Yeah, they had very common themes, right? How to beat the bosses. There was either jump on them, throw them.
Oh, yeah.
Or push them off a ledge.
Or push them off the ledge. Yeah, those were the 3. And they were all like mix and match, and a lot of them looked pretty similar. And then Bowser, I mean, you fight him 3 times, and all 3 times you throw him into a bomb with the most frustrating throwing mechanics I've ever seen in any game.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not dynamic at all. There's not shit going on with any of these battles. It's just you and your 3 little fucking bops in a row and you're done.
Yep. It's get behind them, jump on them. Get behind them, throw them. Get behind them, push them.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of character. I know Mario has characters and they're memorable, but the whole thing felt lifeless. There wasn't a lot of character. Compared to what this is going up against, it's kind of bland. Even the dialogue's bland. None of it really hits me with that creative character.
Yeah, that's fair.
I agree. And also, like, here's a perfect example. The game that we all played before Mario 64 was Super Mario World. And that was a 16-bit 2D world. And I think the environments and the characters in that were much more entertaining and engaging.
Yeah.
And like the bad guys were more fun. The level design was more varied and exciting to get through than I think than Mario 64. Again, it's the dawning of the 3D era. I get it, but they could have gotten more creative. They could have. They could have.
Easily could have just added Yoshi, and then it would be on par at least.
Yeah, they talked about they talked about how they worked on the movement for like so long before they even looked at anything else, and like that's impressive. And people are like, "Oh, cats off to them for perfecting it." But it's also a little bit like, okay, well, maybe you shouldn't have. Maybe you should have thought about the other stuff that makes the series great.
Yep.
Or
to be
spend
fair,
more time.
Yeah, and to be fair, I know we're talking about what's bad, but like the first few levels were really good. You can tell they put their heart and soul into those first few levels. And I think we ran into an issue where back then you couldn't just do a day one patch. You know, you couldn't come in and add DLC and add extra levels and fix and fine tune things. And they ran into an issue where they had to release and they only had like 5 levels and they needed 15. So they're like, what do we do to get this out in time? And I think that kind of shows, especially in the later levels. They did their best, and I truly believe Mario 64 was a work of passion on behalf of the devs. But these are just some areas that we've been talking about that they just fell short. And I'm not saying it's their fault. I think with the amount of, if they had the time and resources available, they could have made this even better than it was, which is saying something, because this is one of the, top games of all time. And I think they just kind of missed some beats there.
Well, and there's also this thing in the gaming industry, back when games had stages and levels, is a lot of times they would put their best levels first, especially because back then demos were a big thing. And so if people played your pilot, basically, your showcase, I guess they call it like a vertical slice or whatever, there's some term, but it's like your best foot forward kind of thing, then people who play it for like 30 minutes or an hour have the best memory of your best level. You don't start them off weak. And then as people are getting deeper in it and they've played it and they're committed, then the levels get weaker and they can start like backing off some of the production, So I think that's the case here. I think that's a little bit of what happened based on what you guys were definitely saying.
Yeah, that's fair. Another critique I have, which I might get flack for it. I don't know, because some people love the music in Super Mario 64. I think it had a good track or two, but I think on large, I didn't really like the music in this game. When I love the music in the previous games. All of the previous games I thought had rockin' music, and I love them, and they're fun, and I can think about them right now. And it's not just a nostalgia thing. When I go back and play them now, I'm like, this music's cool. When I listen to the music from Super Mario 64, I think it really falls flat.
Yeah, I couldn't hum a single note for you right now.
That's exactly what I was about to say. Like, I was very offended at first, and then I started thinking about like, well, here's an example of a song that's a total bop, and I couldn't think of one at all.
Yeah.
But I know in the game, I would recognize music and be like, oh, I love this music. Like, this is so good. And, but now I can't. I couldn't hum it for you. All right, cool. So before we move on to what matters about this game, I got a question for you. You might be waiting for it. It is, what level did you most hate in Mario 64?
Damn, dude. There were several that are kind of tied for ones that frustrated me the most. The pyramid level, even though it had really interesting and cool elements to it, by and large, I died there the most, and it made me the most mad. but that might just be a me thing. But I think a more honest answer would be Wet Dry World with the where you had to adjust the water levels.
Oh, yeah.
I think that level was super lazy.
Because you had to do it in multiple water levels, right? Like pretty much everywhere. Even at the main castle, you had to do stuff to drop the water level to get a star.
Yeah.
Like that was recycled BS, yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Cowboy?
I will tell you that mine is Womp's Fortress because I kept getting it in my mind. You know when you play Mario, like the original 2D ones, and you're like, oh, I can just hold the B button or A button, I forget. I can just hold the button and just run it without stopping, jump over every obstacle, smooth run. I kept trying to do that with this. I kept trying to take shortcuts and just run and jump between ledges, and I spent way too long on this one. It's a very easy to fall level. You're basically climbing just a cylinder, a carved out cylinder, and
That's
it's
fair.
just one move and you're done. You're down, and a lot of slope surfaces. This thing has it's carved up in all angles.
Yeah.
It's terrible. I hate it. Womp's
That's the
Fortress.
one where that you get the star for breaking the wall, right?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I agree. It had that like lighthouse at the top you had to jump up on.
Yes.
Yeah, once you beat the main boss, then
Yeah, I didn't like that one either.
Don't like
it's so interesting because with both our favorite levels and our least favorite levels, we've each gotten something different. And we didn't prepare this up front. This was a question I just kind of asked.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it kind of is interesting to me that we each had our own little thought process on it. My least favorite level by far was the clock level.
Oh, okay.
The clock was
died.
super hard.
So many times, the rotating platforms, the weird angled jumps, you have to get at certain times to get certain stars, and it was so frustrating. I think I got 1 or maybe 2 stars on that level, and just was like, no, I'm done. And I played it for quite a while, and I just kept falling and kept falling and kept falling, and it almost made me quit playing the game. I almost stopped there, but I stopped and I said, you know what? I gotta play this game. I gotta give it a good review. And I'm glad I did because some later levels I actually liked a lot more. But man, that clock level was oof.
And I want to say mine wasn't based off of difficulty because I didn't find the level that difficult at all once I really slowed down and did it. There was also nothing intriguing to that level. My level, which was the Womp's Castle,
Yeah. Fortress.
Yeah, it's just a straightforward climb. You have a few Womps, you have a few biter guys, but and a few rotating almost like clock dial things. But none of it intrigued me. None of it I walked up to and went cool. It was just it was a boring obstacle course on top of being very treacherous.
Yeah, it was just a vertical climb.
Yes.
And it wasn't very interesting. It felt very small.
It was small.
All right. So, sorry, gaming community, that we had to go through that and talk about that. Just know that we love you. Don't hate us for it. But now let's talk about what makes Super Mario 64 the best contender for Exemplar of 3D platforming. And I'll go first because I made you guys go first in the last two. Super Mario 64 is the best contender for Exemplar of 3D platforming. Well, the best thing that has it going for it is that it's the grandpappy of all 3D platformers. All the mechanics, all the ideas, camera use, all that stuff was done first with them, and every subsequent game afterwards on different platforms, different developers, everything took inspiration from Super Mario 64 and used it in all the games since. Modern gaming has to thank Super Mario 64 for what it did. It's crazy influential.
Yeah, I agree. I think kind of mirroring your point is the legacy. The legacy of Super Mario 64 is what makes it this a contender. I mean, back then it was the game to play. It was the Nintendo 64 title. There was 1 or 2 others that everybody else had, but this was the one that if somebody had a Nintendo 64, they had this game. And even to this day, people are still playing the hell out of this game. It is similar to the last episode with 007. This is one of the most speedrun games of all time. I mean, we're talking so many different records that have been posted over the years, and still to this day, records are being beaten. And it's getting to the point where people are like, I don't know if anything can be done faster, because people have taken this game from top to bottom and figured it out. And unless something new comes out, a new skip, a new way to beat stuff, the 100%, the 100% speed run where you get everything, all 120 stars, and you beat Bowser, the difference between first and second place is like 7 seconds. Like, it's so close. And like the top 20 are like a minute. Like, it's all so close to each other. Like, we're talking seconds between each place. So it's really competitive. It still holds up to this day. People are playing the hell out of it, and I think that makes it a really strong contender for the title.
I'm going to say it is, well, obviously I'm going to parrot you guys' legacy. You guys know I already believe in that it was what it's already established. I mean, it was first, and it probably did it best, and that's hard to do. It's hard to go first and do it better than the people that come after you. So I'm going to give it that. But we also all know that the makers of Mario know what they're doing. They have honed skills in one thing, designing levels, designing puzzles based on movement and this kind of stuff. So they absolutely nailed that. And that is very important to platformers. And then the other half is the movement itself. They strove for something very technical, very fluid, something that feels like has a high skill ceiling. As compared to its competitor, it feels like you can master something here. And that's really important for platformers. So I think it's kind of obvious that is why it deserves the title.
So that was Super Mario 64, one of the most influential video games of all time. But are its apparent flaws enough to cost it tonight's title? Take it away, Cowboy.
Our second contender in tonight's matchup is Banjo Kazooie. Released in '98, 2 years after its opponent, it was designed for the N64 by the Golden Logo gods, Rare. The masters of early awkward 3D games, where groan-worthy dialogue and jokes were anything but rare. Well, no, they were rare, because you get it. This is a bird pack and sister nap and toe tap and failed kid show of a platformer gem that took the design pages from Mario 64 and taught the world of platformers to finally inject some actual charm and character into their games. You play as a hillbilly bear named Banjo and his backpack-confined companion, Kazooie, as you venture into a fairy tale forest to defeat the wicked witch who totally is jelly of your sister and kidnapped her for some Freaky Friday beauty exchange. With no time to waste in saving her, you'll get right to work by wasting time collecting the hundreds of scattered music notes, honeycombs, bird eggs, voodoo skulls, red and gold feathers, Jinjos, and of course, the Jiggies. The puzzle pieces to complete the new paintings and unlock new worlds, because unlike the stars in Mario, Banjo-Kazooie's collectibles actually make sense. This demented storybook will take you through 9 worlds that include monstrous mansions, robotic buccaneer bays, and of course, an ice level, because every damn platformer's gotta have an ice level. So grab your Southern Comfort, roast up 3 little pigs, and get ready to have yourself a good time.
All right, my let's talk about Banjo Kazooie. For those of you unaware about Banjo Kazooie, it is a 3D platformer in the 64 era as well. It's critically acclaimed. It stars a bear and bird combo, and your mission basically is to traverse really awesomely crafted worlds on your way to rescue your sister from an evil witch who wants to use her beauty to turn herself into a Kardashian. And that's pretty much it, baby. So let's go ahead and jump into what's good about Banjo Kazooie. I'm flipping a coin for this one. Oh no, it's in the gutter. Oh, Clanker, don't swallow that. Okay, JB, start us off. What did Banjo Kazooie do well?
It did quite a few things well. And I was deciding whether or not I should start with this or not, and I figured this might be a good way to ease us into the conversation. So, welcome to What Did Banjo-Kazooie Do Well? An essay by JB.
Okay.
Ooh.
Let me get my notes over here pulled up.
Oh, he's got the little readers on.
That's right.
Oh yeah, this is going to be one of those really up its own ass kind of video essays, huh? I'm ready for it.
All right, so Banjo-Kazooie, what I think it did well is it makes no fucking sense. It's complete chaos. It's 100% weird, and I didn't know what to expect at first, and I gradually came to love it. And by gradually, I mean within the first 10 minutes. And then after that, it kept adding upon itself, like one-upping itself. It was like a group of developers came together and said, let's make the craziest thing you've ever seen that makes no sense. And then they all set out and they tried to one-up each other. So number one, the collectibles. They make no sense. And Cowboy, you mentioned this in your read of the game, but they have Jinjos, which are like weird little bird creatures that you collect. They also have music notes for some reason. You have honeycombs. You have the skulls that you collect, the puzzle pieces, and all the feathers too. And hold on, I got to scroll down. Oh, the statues. You got statues. You got spell books. Like what's going on here? These are so far removed from each other. There is no cohesive theming to the collectibles you get. Absolute chaos. That's point number one. Point number two, the enemies make absolutely no sense. When I first started playing the game, I thought, is this like a anti-vegan propaganda game? Like everything is vegetables and you're murdering them. You just murder all the vegetables. But that was just the first level. And then as I got into it, I realized, no, it's everything. There's vegetables, there's animals, inanimate objects. There's even mutants that you have to fight at some point. And I'm like, what is this, Fallout? Like, what's going on here? So that's point number two. Point number the third, the weapons make absolutely no sense. So, like, you have a bird in your back.
Would you call that a weapon?
Dude, she's lethal.
She steals eggs just from out in nature. So, like, she's stealing other birds' kids. Maybe the Jinjo birds. I don't even know. But these are real eggs that are just existing in nature. So they're fertilized eggs, most likely. Your bird just steals them, and then she can choose to either shoot them out her mouth for some reason, or shoot them out. What is that even called? Her cloaca.
Cloaca.
Yeah, the bird vag. So
it's more of a bird all in one.
It's an
all-in-one PC. Yeah,
it's a D, all of the above.
So there I have my three main points to support the reason why Banjo Kazooie is absolute chaos, and I love it. Thank you.
Dude, I absolutely love that. Okay, I'm going to jump into. So I'm going to throw it out there so y'all can think my opinions are super biased. Banjo Kazooie is actually... it's one of my favorite games ever, actually. I haven't played it for a very long time, so when we picked it up to play it again, I was thrilled. And not only did I beat it, I 100%ed this bitch in like 10 or 11 hours. I was so happy to play this. I want to touch on, well, actually, several things. So the collectibles are awesome. I think they are a little more thematic because it's bird stuff. The skulls are basically a currency to exchange with the local witch doctor to turn you into animals. Just random little tiny animals to solve even more puzzles.
Well, I thought they're actually pretty thematic. I have to agree. Like the music notes, because Banjo and Kazooie are both instruments, and then the feathers, obviously, for the bird. Like, I thought they were much more thematic.
What is the theme? Anything that exists also has other things that are similar?
No, okay, watch this. I'm going to prove to you that a lot of the collectibles make sense right here. So, Banjo Kazooie knows how good of a game it is. In the very beginning, the opening credits, you get a nice little like pratfall with the dragonfly hitting the Rare logo. Then all of a sudden, you don't get just a stupid little like start with a face or like with a title screen or anything like that. You get a goddamn music video.
Yep. Out
of nowhere, the main characters of this game are just shredding this badass theme song, and it's so fun and it's so varied with so many different so many different musical instruments, and it's just like a rip-roaring time, and you watch that 30 seconds into playing this game, you're like, this is going to be a good fucking game. Throughout Banjo Kazooie, it uses music so well. Gruntilda's lair, so the main bad guy, Gruntilda, a big green witch, her lair is basically like the overworld that you traverse to visit the different worlds to actually play the game. She has one basically overlaying theme song throughout her entire lair, but it changes themes through every single area. It's the same song, but it's played like 10 different ways, and it's awesome. And then every single level gets not just a generic or reused piece of music, they all get their original score that's so thematically important. Music is a huge element to Banjo Kazooie. And the developers knew that.
Agreed.
So they pulled no punches, man. I think Banjo Kazooie has an amazing soundtrack throughout it. And that's why you collect music notes. That's my only point. That's why you collect music notes.
Sure, I get that. In like isolation, each one of them does kind of make sense. It's like you have a witch doctor. What would a witch doctor want? Oh, skulls. You have a bird.
Sure.
Birds have feathers. You have
Eggs
a
and
bear.
feathers.
Bears like honey. I've seen Winnie the Pooh.
Sure.
So all of them make sense in isolation, but when you combine them together,
It's pretty wild. Yeah.
it's wild. It's wild. It's like, oh, I got music notes and puzzle pieces. These are hobbies.
Well, no,
I have skulls. That could be a hobby. Maybe hobbies is the thing. You collect skulls from murdering people. You have music notes because you're a musician. You like to do puzzles in your free time. You like to collect birds, I guess, and their
Sure.
feathers.
Yeah.
So it's all just a hobby.
I think you tied it together great.
Themes are really just a theme for anything. It's just picking like 3 or 4 adjectives and then just trying to stick with those with the entire subject matter. To me, that's all themes are. Like,
Sure.
okay, what kind of game are we making? A musical kind of forest animal voodoo witchy bird game. And like, okay, we'll just make sure everything lines up
That
with
does
those.
not sound like
and
a
it
theme.
does.
That
That's
sounds
the
like
themes. Those are the themes.
That
That's
sounds
what a
like
theme is.
random, just
No.
random nonsense, which is what I like about Banjo. It's random. It doesn't need to be
Yes.
cohesive.
It's random and it's humorous. I actually I know it's ham-fisted and cartoony and like, juvenile sometimes. I like the humor in Banjo Kazooie. Every single character is actually brought to life well. When you think about Bottles the Mole, you know his personality. When you think about Mumbo Jumbo, the witch doctor, you know his personality. Like they were all brought together really well, and there's tons of dialogue. And I love how cynical Kazooie is through the entire game. She doesn't have one good thing to say about anybody. Here's a perfect example. So there's one level called Gobi's Valley, and it's the Egyptian theme to counterpoint, Mario's Egyptian theme. And in the very beginning, you meet a tree who can also talk because everything talks in Banjo Kazooie. Everything. Yeah. There's a talking toilet. Everything talks. You meet this tree. The tree's thirsty. What does Kazooie say? Oh, man, we can help you. Hey, how you doing? No, Kazooie just out of nowhere busts out, how's your nuts, Bart Breath? And it's just that throughout the entire thing. When she hit me with that quote, I was like, holy shit. But that's her personality, like through the entire thing. And it's filled with that. When you're in the overworld, Gruntilda, as the, formerly called, Gruntilda, in her lair, is constantly hitting you with really fun quips. And everything she says rhymes, too. Which is, a feat in its own. Like, she's constantly shit-talking you. Everybody in this game just shit-talks each other, except for Banjo, who's like, hey, everybody, let's get along. I think the wit in this game is amazing.
It's weird because it's not Conker's Bad Fur Day. It's not really intense or adult jokes, but it's also not a baby game.
Right.
In some ways, I actually did ask myself, is this a children's game? Because the way it lays out the plot and the way that the characters all interact and how it's even built with the design of the characters and everything, I was really asking myself, what age is this game meant for? Like, what do you think, Jake? Is this like 10 years old? 15? 5?
I mean, whatever the rating was, I guess. I don't know. I would say 10 and up, sure. Or younger. Like, here's the thing. So the quips are... I mean, it can be cynical. The quips can be like downright crazy, like what I just stated with Kazooie.
Mhm.
But at the same time, there's no overt vulgarity. There's no cursing. I mean, it's on level with Saturday morning cartoons 99% of the time to me. So
Yeah.
I think a young audience can absolutely enjoy it, but an adult audience can also like hear those little zingers and go, ah.
That's exactly what I was thinking. It's very reminiscent of 90s cartoons.
Yeah.
Where a lot of the jokes were a little more adult. I'm thinking like Ren and Stimpy. I'm thinking like Animaniacs. Hello, nurse. Those types of situations come up in Banjo. I mean, nothing that obvious, but it's still like I guess appropriate enough for younger children, but older children, teenagers, and even adults can get a kick out of the humor present in the game.
Well, I never got a kick out of the humor. I did find myself giving it a pass. Because I don't think I laughed at anything. I found some of it humorous, but for some reason, the game wasn't cringeworthy to me. It was, or groan-worthy, as you could probably put it better. It just was still just fun. I don't know what reason it got a pass for being, like I said, a bit of a baby game, but I don't know. It's just fun to play through. It feels old school. It feels storybook, and I think fairy tale and those kind of things get a pass. Cow jumped over the moon gets a pass when you read it again.
No, I get what you're saying, man. I get what you're saying. Another thing that I think is great, because it's always the stuff that I gravitate to. I think Banjo Kazooie's world design and level design, like in particular the actual levels that you have to collect things in, is so well done. They're so cohesive and put together. There's obstacles, there's platforming, there's puzzles, and there's challenges and races and things like that. But what the team at Rare did is integrate it into this world, this little microcosm of themes and stuff like that, where everything that you're doing, it feels right in the world. You're not playing Wipeout, you're exploring a world that also happens to have like a lot of the same mechanics to it.
Yeah, nothing felt forced. Everything felt right, baked into the world. They packed the place full of obstacles and challenges to meet, but it didn't feel like you were ever going out of your way. The whole thing felt fluid. Mm-hmm. So like you said, very natural. It had, and that's not just because they did the design of the levels well. Like they looked good and they felt good and they felt like the real thing. But it was more than that. I think, behind the scenes, they did design them very well. Even though I can get a little lost. I know at one point I started to really forget where I was and where I was going, and having to restart at the beginning of a level. I mean, we're doing good right now, but I'm just going to put that there I had to, track through a lot.
Oh yeah, for sure. And how did you guys feel about Banjo and Kazooie's moveset versus Mario's?
I found them more fun, less frustrating, but not as skilled. Less rewarding to skilled players.
I think it was cool. I like what they did with being able to switch between Banjo and Kazooie to do different things. I think that was neat. It was like having you have different characters basically who have different skill sets, and you can fluidly, that was the intention, right? Be able to fluidly switch between them. There were multiple times where I tried to switch to Kazooie and it wasn't doing it, which was really annoying. Yeah, it was like, what would it do instead? It would shoot the egg, or it would do some weird stuff when I tried to switch.
Were you playing on Game Pass? Like specifically like your mobile cloud gaming?
I don't know if I should say what I was playing on.
Oh, okay. Well, I know I know at least on Game Pass, like Game Pass Mobile, which, by the way, I'm going to revise my opinion on cloud gaming because I played Banjo Kazooie 100% on my phone with an Xbox controller. Mm-hmm. I still used a controller, but I played it on my phone over the cloud like the entire time. Played great. I absolutely loved it. So for some games, cloud gaming is kick ass. So there's my revision. I changed my opinion on it. But I did notice, like, if you're using like mobile controls, it would like hold down triggers and things like that. So you would always just start, like doing moves that you weren't expecting to do.
I ran into that quite a bit, and I don't know if it was because of the way I was playing or because of the the software itself. Like, was the game actually like that back in the day? I'm not 100% sure, to be honest, but it is something I noticed. But speaking about the movesets, the thing that I noticed the most was the inability to aim correctly.
Yes, aiming was a little weird, yeah.
That was the hardest. That was the only real thing that stuck out to me the entire time. Otherwise, I was just like, oh yeah, this is fine. This is pretty fun. I switched to Kazooie to run up a hillside, and I switched to Banjo to do some ground and pound until I unlocked the beak blast or whatever they call it. Sure. So it was like, oh yeah, and you get to unlock new abilities, which is really cool. Whereas in Mario, you don't really. I mean, you can get the hats, but it's more. I feel like the hats are more of like a Castlevania, Metroidvania situation where it allows you to get into new places. But in Banjo, they have that too, but it also allows you to approach enemies in different ways, which was pretty neat.
Well, and then I want to say, surprisingly, Mario was less accessible than this game to a wider range of people, because you would think Mario being much more popular would be easier on everyone, but it's a little bit of a difficult game in certain sections and sequences. Banjo, my 3-year-old, I think he's pretty much beaten it. I think he has gone through this game and he's like done everything, and he has, I know, just hundreds of music notes. And so he has no problem. I tried letting him play Mario 64 for a little bit. He couldn't handle it. He couldn't do it.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, because Mario has a lot of failure conditions, right? So like you can fall off ledges and you can die multiple ways. And Banjo doesn't really have that as much. It's more just, hey, can you beat this jumping puzzle? And if you can't, you just do it again.
Yeah.
Mario, if you fail the jumping puzzle, you're booted out of the level completely.
You're dead. Yeah, you're right.
There's
You're
a lot
absolutely
of risk and pitfalls to everything you do in Super Mario 64. This game is a lot more forgiving. It just wants you to have a better time.
That's a great point. I never even put that together when I was playing these two. Now, like in retrospect, looking back at how I was playing, I feel it. I absolutely feel it. You know, being a newbie to Mario 64, it wasn't until about the very end that I finally like got my footing and started having fun with the mechanics. For hours, I was struggling with that game.
Yeah, the learning curve is much steeper in Mario, and so is the difficulty curve, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, it ramps up fairly quickly. Like, after the first few levels, it's just like, all right, you're in the deep end now. And then some of the last levels are, like, borderline impossible. Like, there's no way you can get through them without dying on your first try. It's just not possible. But Banjo, it was like, there was a difficulty ramp up, but it was much more gradual.
Yeah. There's a lot more easy fun to be had here. In Mario, you can have a lot of fun because you're being challenged, but in this one, not even in the challenge, there's just fun stuff to be done. Fun. Yeah. It's just playfully fun. It's
All right. So we did this with Mario 64, and I'm really interested to hear what you both have to say. What is your favorite Banjo Kazooie level? I'm going to start us off with Jake.
Oh, dude. Okay. So I love, what I can actually say is there's only one level that I don't automatically love, and that's Mad Monster Mansion, which is like the Halloween-y level, like theme level one. My absolute favorite one though is, it's at the very end, Click Clock Wood. So for those of you who haven't played it, this one was just a little bit different than the other levels. The other levels were just one cohesive, like little tiny world that you'd explore, and that's it. Click Clock Wood was kind of like that, except it broke itself up into 4 seasons. So there were puzzles that you would go through and solve, and like little like characters that you would help and stuff through every season. Say you break open a boulder in the summer. In the fall, you can go visit the beaver, whose house was blocked by said boulder, to get your puzzle, like things like that.
Oh,
so
nice.
you actually have to go through all 4 seasons with a lot of these puzzles. You start feeding a baby chick in the spring. By the winter, it's a giant eagle that gives you a Jiggy. Also, the little creature that you get to turn into in Click Clock Wood is a bee, and you get to fly around. And you get to just like cruise around and listen to a kick-ass soundtrack too. It's my favorite song in the game, I think. And I remember as a kid playing Click Clock Wood, and that's all I would do. I would just fly around and whistle the song. Like I could, like 20 years later, I could whistle the song from memory. I loved this level and how dynamic it was with the seasons.
All right, cool. What about you, Cowboy?
So I got pretty far. I did not beat the game. I don't think I got to Click Clock Woods, but I think I have enough of these levels under my belt that I can confidently say that I love Clanker's Cavern.
Clanker's Cavern is cool.
Yeah, there's something really just neat about it. And like, it took me a while to figure out how to free him. And so when I did eventually like understand you had to go deep down and like swim through the key a couple of times, I hated that moment. Because you have to chase that fish around and catch his bubbles. Mm-hmm. But I freed him and he rises to the top. I'm like, all right, well, that was cool. And then I notice he's shooting something in the air with his blowhole. And I go, you can't go in him, can you?
Right.
So I go and the thing goes up in the air and I go in him. And I'm like, holy shit, you get to go through the shark. Like, it has a whole level already going on. There's so much to already do in there. And Clinker has a lot to do in them. It's not one room, it's multiple rooms.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You can
pick up a
approach
new-
it from different sides too. And
You
like,
can go through the gills, I found out, yeah. So there's interesting entrances. And then on top of that blowhole, how it shoots something out, like let's say a cork, if you can actually ride the cork up to a
Mhm.
different place too. So their ability to be very dynamic with the level and pack so many things into it and like things you won't even think of, they were very ingenious with this. And I think that was one of my favorites. I think there was a lot of genius things that they did on it. And I hate underwater levels. So the fact
yeah.
that this made me love it, I was like, okay, you did it right.
That's a really good point, dude. What about you, JB?
So it's hard. There's like basically a two-way tie for me. I really want to say Frizzy Peak, the snowman level.
Yeah.
I love that one too.
But I think it gets inched out just from not necessarily for any specific reason, but I think it gets inched out by what is that? The pirate themed level, the Cove. Pirate Cove, something like that.
Treasure
The
Trove
treasure
Cove
one or the robot?
Yes,
is the second
yeah.
one. Treasure Trove Cove is so cool.
I really loved that. If I'm thinking of the right level, this is the one where you really start to use Kazooie's flight to your to the full potential. And you're flying around, and there's so many things hidden in secret, like walls, and like you have to like fly around this giant area and find little hidey holes to get, you know, puzzle pieces or skulls or whatever. And then also, as you're flying around, you're looking at these different little platforms out in the middle of the sea that you can land on and get more collectibles. This is where you unlock the Kazooie big jump thing.
Yeah.
Where you can kind of launch yourself and start racking up jumping combos between different platforms, I just love the mechanics of that. And then also you have the giant shark that's trying to murder you every time you're in the water, and you're kind of racing against the clock to not get eaten, which is, I don't know, that entire level was just so much fun for me.
There's something oddly satisfying about that little springboard jump on Kazooie.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It feels good because the noises he makes and the wind up and then the poof into the air. I do want to throw out, that's my least favorite level. So that's weird that you
that's
loved
funny.
it. Yeah.
Whoa. Did you guys play around with the cheats in
No.
Treasure Trove Cove?
Who would dare cheat at these classic children's games?
So, all
These are
right.
children, Jake.
So Banjo Kazooie has traditional cheats in it, but you don't
like not Game Shark cheats, but like button push cheats.
Yeah, codes. So you don't do it at the start screen though. What you do is you input the cheats in that big puzzle room in Treasure Trove Cove.
Right.
You know,
Red
the big
feathers,
board?
blue feathers. Yeah.
Yeah, the big board that you have to like spell. I think you spell Banjo Kazooie to get the jiggy in that one. But if you pound the word cheat and then ground pound, specific like phrases, that's how you unlock cheats in Banjo Kazooie.
No way.
It's integrated into the world, which was
That's
another
neat.
just like, hell yeah, Rare. You guys know what the fuck is up.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a really fun cheat that you have to put in a bunch of stuff to get to. It's a cheat and it's super hard, not super hard, it's super tedious to
Yeah.
put in. But if you put it in and go to Mumbo Jumbo, you get turned into a wash machine.
Oh, that's neat.
What?
Yeah, you get turned into a washing machine. So you're like this busted up wash machine with the shorts and the backpack on. And when you do it, Mumbo like makes fun of you, and you're totally useless. You walk slow. You can hardly like jump. You're literally a fucking wash machine bouncing around these levels. And they did that just to have fun.
Yeah. So there's literally no. Does he change you back eventually, or is that like punishment for cheating, or is it just
No,
like
you
a
have
fun
to
little?
you have to go over there and like stomp your way back to his pad and get changed back.
That's
Yeah.
neat.
Yeah. I forget if it's part of the story or if it's a random prompt. Did you guys ever get changed temporarily into a Tyrannosaurus?
No.
Yeah. So it's this random, I guess it has to be a random encounter because I didn't encounter it when I played now, but it happened when I was a kid. So he will say, he'll do a spiel and then you'll accidentally get transformed into a dinosaur. And then the magic wears off and you go back to what you were supposed to be. They don't let you be the dinosaur. They just tease it. They're like, look, you're a T-Rex. No, you're not.
Okay, so it's a fun little Easter egg, but they
Yeah.
don't let you run around as it.
No, you don't get to be a T-Rex now.
That's still like neat. That's still like just like a nice little novelty. That was kind of I like that.
All right, so that was enough gushing and praise for Banjo Kazooie. Let's go ahead and rip this game apart with what it did bad. Cowboy, start us off.
Baby game all day.
Okay.
No,
I take back my pass.
yeah. Well, yes. Okay. Baby game, for sure. And for some people, they'll hate that, you know.
Sure.
Grisly detectives in their apartments, you know, smoking on a cigarette will not enjoy this game. Also, they will not enjoy because nobody should enjoy the swimming. The swimming obstacle courses, I almost swore in front of my kid, and he kept saying things like, just go in the ring, Dada, just swim in the ring. And I'm like, it's not working. I can't swim in the ring because it's just so weird. I know it's a little natural and stuff, but trying to get the camera to focus and understand the trajectory of when you swim, I hated it. I never wanted to do any like actual obstacle course swimmings when I had to do that. Also, yeah, the camera. It's N64 day. Cameras were terrible back then. I don't know if it can be blamed, but it's a bad thing. You know, it's inherent with the time and the genre.
Mm-hmm. The camera is bad, but at least you can rotate all around Banjo.
Yes, agreed. It's good. And it is good for that.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't do you much good if it's just terrible, but yeah,
True.
at least you have that. No, I completely agree with what you're saying, Cowboy, because I was taking notes as I was playing this game, just little things that would pop into my head, and then some of them I'd have to change, which I'll talk about in a little bit, but I had so many different things about just annoying controls, annoying camera stuff, that I just deleted all of them and wrote down, camera is bad, controls are bad. So, I mean, hey, that's kind of what we come to expect from N64 era games. They were just learning how to handle user, like the player movement in video games in 3D space that had never been done before. Like, how do you even start? And I mean, they did it. They got something out there, and it was fine when I was young and I played it. It was a little weird, but I got used to it eventually. And I mean, hey, what are you going to do? I much prefer camera and movement today, though.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. And it's also a product of using a controller with one joystick on it, right? Like they had to just set like degree intervals when it swung around and stuff like that, because the joystick was all about controlling the character. There was no second joystick for like any sort of precision. And I mean, we felt that playing Perfect Dark and GoldenEye last episode.
Yeah, and that's probably some of what we were running into, because I think if you did too, Jake, we all played this with dual analog, and so maybe that's kind of our fault.
I did. Okay, so yeah, this time around, I did play it with an Xbox controller, because I have already, played it so much as a kid. I played it the hell out of this game as a kid, so I was like, okay, let's play the updated version. Also, listeners at home, why not play the revamped version on I think the 360? Yeah, it's the 360. Banjo Kazooie is on Game Pass on console, and it's got a little glow up. Mario 64 had the 3D All-Stars that had a glow up. That's how I played both of these.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I played the rare replay, if that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell if it was glowed up, as you say.
Yeah, that counts. Yeah. I mean, it's brought up to 1080, and it's like the visuals are a little sharper.
Oh, and if I can throw on as well, I went ahead and bought that N64 USB controller. So
you did it too? You did it too? So we all have one?
We all have. I wanted to be honest to it, so I got it, and I'm gonna try it. So if we ever do an N64 game, I'm going to try to use the classic, because that's the one controller where it matters. Like if a Super Nintendo controller, yeah, it's the same as using the D-pad, but the N64, that's a whole new beast. You can't replicate how that went.
Yeah, it's such a unique controller that if you're trying to experience N64 games, you almost have to do it. And that's actually while I was playing Banjo, I went and ordered the N64 controller.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I completely agree. And also, since it lost in the battle, the listener question battle, it was the worst, or it won, I guess. It's the worst controller of all time.
Yep.
I talked to Cowboy, and he agreed. We are going to do a stream at some point. We'll announce it on Twitter, where we play Rocket League at very high levels. Cowboy is a champ. He was formerly a grand champ last season, and we're going to play at very high levels using an N64 controller. So we're gonna do that.
That's awesome.
And see how much it hinders our performance.
That's awesome.
All right, but anyways, I digress. Let's steer it back to bad. I want to say a lot of the enemies not really impressed with, especially the early enemies. I don't know, Mario has Goombas and whatnot, but ants and corn and vegetables and shit.
When you
and
say that, it just makes me laugh, though.
You just roll into them. They're nothing. They don't have any moves or anything. You just roll into them and you go about your day. So I wasn't impressed with the enemies. I don't know.
That's fair. Most enemies are very one note. Like
Yes.
they really and truly are. There's very few enemies that take any sort of precision to fight. Honestly, I think only the big snowmen that throw stuff at you
Mhm.
are hard to defeat because you have to do that flying crazy
Mhm.
charge at the X on their hat. Other than that, yeah, most enemies are literally just roll into them, smack them a couple times, whatever, and they're done.
Yeah. And they're kind of just like a variation on size and type, but they don't have like special moves. You do have like the bull in one of the levels, and you can't really defeat him. But the basic enemies, the ones you encounter a lot, they're just nothing. I didn't even think about them.
Yeah.
So I have a couple of bad things that I noticed basically right off the bat. And I think the first thing I noticed was the voices.
You don't like them?
What do you mean? What's bad about them?
They were like the exact opposite of Dodgeball Academia. Dodgeball Academia took what they were trying to do and did it so much better that it made Banjo Kazooie, the voice acting, if you could even call it that, just absolutely terrible to my ears. It was just like.
But so many games do that, though. Like, even today.
They do, but they do it well.
I thought-
And Banjo Kazooie did not.
You
do
thought
it well.
they didn't do it well? Oh my
No.
god. I thought
Let-
it all gave them personality, man.
Let me just say
felt nothing.
Let me
It
say
was
right
terrible.
now, I think the voice actors delivered tons of emotion. I thought their performances were believable. I thought the accents were good. I don't know what
Really?
you're talking about. Yeah. And the line delivery, stellar, dude. I was in it. Like,
All right.
there's-
Okay, so let's everybody let's do an impression of what it's like. Cowboy, go first. Who is that?
I don't know. That's the bottle nose guy,
Oh, Bottles of Mole. Okay.
I think. I don't remember any of them. If you
JB,
guys
do
got
one.
them.
All right.
That's pretty good. It's Banjo,
who
right?
was that one?
Is that Banjo?
Did it sound like Banjo?
No,
think
it didn't
so.
sound like Banjo.
Okay, because it wasn't Banjo.
Damn it.
That was supposed to be Mumbo, but I can't do it.
Oh. Okay, all right.
That's pretty
Grunty.
That's pretty good.
Gruntil? Yeah, it's grunty. Okay, so yeah, that is what every single character sounds like in this game.
And it sounds like
okay,
they
all
had like 3 or 4 different like noises, and they just
Cyclone.
however long it would take you to read
Yeah.
that sentence, they cycled through them randomly. And it was like it would like be weird rough cuts between the different sounds. Some of them would get cut off, some of them would go too long, and it was like it wouldn't match up with what they were saying or the actual length of what they would say. And it was awkward, and I noticed it right off the bat, and I went, "What the fuck?"
I mean, that's not so bad. You play Overcooked. Overcooked does that, and I love that. Except in Overcooked, they just sound like they're speaking Navajo. It is very Native American when they do it.
Mm.
That's fair.
I always notice that. An onion. The onion's Native American for some reason. I don't know what's implied
Jesus.
there. I don't know what they're going for.
All right, JB, I feel like you have more locked and loaded. What else do you not like about this?
Okay, yeah, I can go like
Let's
Hit
do
us-
it.
I can
hit
go
us with
quick
the lightning
time
round.
and hit you with a few ones.
Yeah, let's do it.
So one of the things I wrote down immediately, like after like 2 or 3 levels, was I really liked that they didn't have very many time-based activities. Remember, I wrote this down after like 2 or 3 levels.
Sure.
They didn't have very many of those, which was great because the controls were terrible and the camera was terrible. So I really liked that. And then I think Egypt was the first one where I was like, oh my God. And I even changed it, was like, never mind, what the fuck, Egypt. And then I changed it again to, there are so many time-based activities. Like, it would be fine if the controls weren't so bad, but they are. So I hated. They would have certain situations where you'd like have to get boots to traverse a swamp or whatever. And they gave you just enough time. Like, just enough time to get to the other side.
That's true.
And I hated that.
There was very little room for error. You're absolutely right there.
My son lost a little bit of respect to me doing the underwater one inside Clinker.
Mm-hmm.
Because I swear at least 12 times. So, yeah, he no longer respects me as much.
I have this bullet point number 20. Water levels are terrible game design. So, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
You mean just in like general?
Just in general. For both.
True.
I hate water levels in every game ever. I've never enjoyed a water level except Super Mario World. There is one water level where you get a Yoshi right off the bat, and then you just swim through it really quickly. Best water level. Because you just zoom through it.
You didn't like it. You just basically skipped it.
Yeah. Yeah,
like,
exactly.
We should 100% do Subnautica for an episode then. I think you'd love it.
the water level game.
Water level the game.
Water level the game, yes.
Yeah.
What else do I got here? The mini games and I don't even know if they're called mini games, but like the puzzles, all of the different side things that you have to do to complete a level. Sometimes they just went on too long. They had too many, like, do it again. So, like
do
mechanics.
it again, but harder.
Yeah, they had too many of those, and it would always go on like one or two longer than I thought was, enough. Like, all right, that's enough. Nope, do it again. All right, that's definitely enough. Nope, one more time. And I'm just like, come on.
Yeah, a perfect example of that is in Bubble Gloop Swamp when you have to race the other alligator eating apples and worms.
Yep, I wrote that down specifically. I said the crocodile minigame where you eat like snakes or radishes?
Oh, yeah.
Question mark? Way too hard.
And it went on over and over and over.
Yeah, he destroyed me like 4 times in a row. And then I finally beat him and I was like, yes, I did it. And there's like, but do it again.
But do it again, yeah.
I don't wanna. And then if you fail, you have to start over from the very beginning. And it's like, come on. What else do we got here? This one is just true. This is more of a bad on me and my gaming style and my failures as a human being. But I'm really bad at knowing maps and where things are, where I am in relation to other things, and where I just came from 5 minutes ago. So the fact that every level you have to backtrack to the entrance, there are so many times where I got so fed up exploring through this place that I had to go online and look at the map in order to figure out where the entrance was and make my way back there. I was just lost for so long. I hate backtracking so much.
By entrance, do you mean like finding where to enter the actual level?
Yeah. Like, you finish the level, you have to go back to that little platform to teleport out.
Yeah, and that was something I mentioned. That's definitely one of my bads too.
Yes, every game, like especially games like this that have little like their own little world levels to explore, there definitely needs to be a button to say, get me out of here.
And that kind of relates to something else I feel with this, which I want to take this to Jake. This game is packed full of goodies in every corner and every inch of it, and it's got so much deliciousness, and that's a good thing to you, right? You love how much this game has packed into it.
Yeah, absolutely. I do, yeah.
So I hate it. For some reason, that to me means I have to go and dig through every nook and cranny like I'm searching for change in my couch cushions. There's something weird with me where it just feels like too much and I don't want all of it. And that's a bad for me, subjectively. I'm going to put a big ol' asterisk subjective for anybody who's like, I relate with Cowboy a lot, that you're going to feel that if you play this.
That's fair. I mean, everybody has the preference of game that they like, and I'm sure that some people don't like collectathons. Yes. And I'm even guilty of not liking half of the collectathons out there. But for some reason, I feel like Banjo Kazooie did it right. Like it was packed, but it was clear. Like for 9 times out of 10, it was pretty obvious what you needed to do. There were a few things that were a little wild, but like most of the time, it was like, here's the level, enjoy the ride, and you just get through it.
Right.
Yeah, and I always struggle with something that's inherent to a genre.
Yeah.
Because, like, a lot of times faults come from the developers did this poorly. But sometimes I play a game and I'm like, I hate this because it just is what it is, and I hate it for who it is.
That's fair.
And so sometimes, yeah, I struggle with bringing those up, but I think people should know if you don't, that may be inherent to people who don't like collectathons.
Yeah, if you don't like that genre, you are not going to like this game.
But it is fun to look at while you do it, so it keeps you entertained.
I agree. I have two final notes here. One that actually matters, and then one that I kind of thought was funny. But
is one of them in big, bold red letters? We're getting like a boss here? Okay.
It basically is. And it says, what the fuck trivia?
Oh my God, I loved it. When I remembered that this game does that, not only do you have to play this game, you have to pay attention. You have to pay attention to beat this game. When I got to that board game and all those memories came flooding back, I started laughing so hard. And I was like, Cowboy and JB are not going to fucking pass this to save their goddamn lives.
Nope.
And I was just like, fucking get wrecked, scrub! It was like it was made for me!
It was absolutely 100% made for you. I was like, Jake is probably, like, I was sitting there playing it. I'm like, Jake probably got through this first try. Like, he knows all the answers. They would come up with some random nonsense. Like, some of them were pretty easy. It was like, what's the name of the crocodile? What's the name of the mole? And I'm like, I remember those.
Yeah.
But then some of them were like, whose voice is this?
Yeah.
And it's like, and I'm like, that's all of them. That's all of the voices. And they would have all these different names. And I'm like, well, it's not D. That's not a real person. And then I go through and I fail over and over and I get that question again. It was D. That was a real character I didn't know existed. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks. I died more times on the trivia than any other part. And you have to start over from the very beginning again. So, like, you have to answer like 15 questions in a row correctly, and you get 3 lives. And if you don't, you're out and start over. And it was
you have to answer so many questions. And they knew it. They prepped you for this moment too, because Gruntilda's good fairy sister is in the game. When you'll find her hidden within Gruntilda's lair, and she'll drop some hot goss about Gruntilda.
Yeah.
And you have to remember all that hot goss about her because it comes up in the trivia at the end.
Yep. At the beginning, I was like, oh, that's kind of funny. She keeps, this type of plant on her bedside table. Who cares? And then I continue through the game, and one of the questions is, what kind of plant does Grunty keep in her bedside table? And I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? Oh, man. So, and I'm really good with multiple choice tests. Like, I usually get pretty good scores. Not in this one. It was so hard. Oh, man. So that was the trivia one that I absolutely hated. That was the worst. The other thing, and this is kind of like my final note here, which I thought was interesting, was one of the very first lines Gruntilda says. And I wrote it down because it made such an impact on me. It says, "Don't scratch and bite, my little bear. You'll soon need bigger underwear." This is one of the first lines that Gruntilda says to Tootie, which
Tootie, yeah,
is fine on its own. But after I saw that, I was like, this would be a completely different thing if that was a line that Terry wrote. Like, she's going to use her witch magic to make Tootie thick.
No, it's not thick because it shows you right.
Thick.
It shows you right in the game over. No,
3 C's.
No, excuse me. No, this is crazy. You see Gruntilda, you see how she is rotund and not very pretty. And in the game over screen, which you see every time you quit the game, whether you're doing good or not, you can watch that whole cinematic where she wins. Grunty gets turned into a Kardashian, and Tootie comes out
as an ogre. Yeah.
As an ogre.
Turned into a Kardashian.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. But remember, this is the very beginning of the game before you even get to control your character.
Okay, sure.
So I was confused by the line.
You don't have that context. I'm like, wait, what? She's going to give her some cake? Just give her that cake?
It's like a nice feeder fetish.
I thought she meant you're going to shit your pants so much you're going to need more underwear. That's what I thought she meant. I was like, that's a weird joke for a kid's game. You're gonna, like, we're going to need a bigger boat. Like, you're going to shit so much you're going to need bigger britches.
That's amazing.
I like that better. Okay.
So anyway, that line, I mean, Tootie getting caked out, like, that's... That's all I could think about for like the first 3 levels, and I'm just going back to it over and over in my head. Like, is that what she meant? Like, what did she mean?
Technically, she gets caked out. She might not look good, but she got cake.
She got cake.
She got that big old badonkadonk.
And I'm like, was that a thing that people didn't find, attractive back then? Like they weren't down with the thickness in the 90s?
In 1998, probably, yeah.
That's so weird to me.
I couldn't tell you. I was into Pokemon cards and not girls. I don't know.
Ally McBeal was a show, so yeah.
Fair.
Well, the 90s did have a really weird thing about super
skinny
thin,
women.
super skinny, like
right.
unhealthily skinny.
Yeah, like the Olsen twins.
Yeah, that didn't...
That's what ended it, I think. When the Olsen twins came out when they were like 18, 19, and then everybody was like, oh... Yeah, we don't like that.
No, I can tell you, dude. Scientists have actually done their research, and they know they call it the Sir Mix-a-Lot point.
Oh no!
In which, when when a song came out that talked about how he liked big buttocks, and that changed the game. That's what did it. Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Yeah, okay. I mean, they hear it over and over. I like big butts, and I cannot lie. And they're like, have I been lying to myself?
Everybody was lying, and it took one person to say like, I like them and I will not lie. And then everyone went, I am Spartacus.
Yes.
We all stood up and realized we were all Spartacus.
Made a whole nation get real introspective.
Wow. Mm-hmm. That's amazing. You gave me goosebumps right there. That's powerful. All right, so to lead us out, as is tradition this episode, I want to ask you both what your least favorite levels in Banjo-Kazooie are. Why don't you start us off again, Jake?
Man, I love so many of these, but probably I would have to give it to Rusty Bucket Bay. It's toward the end, and you're traversing a shipyard, and the oil is polluted, so your air depletes twice as fast. So you have to deal with that. Your air depletes crazy fast, and even when you're at the surface, your air still depletes until you actually climb out of the water. And also, just getting into the ship itself and doing these crazy platforming segments with moving gears and stuff like that. Rusty Bucket Bay was pretty frustrating to me.
I want to go next just because, yes, absolutely. That was my choice as well. Rusty Bucket Bay is the worst level in all of Banjo-Kazooie. Hands down, no question about it. It was the worst.
I am going to say the first level.
Mumbo's Mountain?
Yeah, Spiral Mountain. It's got nothing going on.
Oh, that's like a tutorial.
It's technically a level.
Okay, that counts. Okay. All right, so that's enough about what Banjo-Kazooie did bad, and I feel bad for them. I love them. They need a rest. Let's go ahead and jump into what matters. Cowboy, why is Banjo-Kazooie the best contender for Exemplar of 3D platforming?
I will tell you why. Because people think the essence of platformers is the platforming. And to me, that's like the tortilla that makes up a taco. Sure, it's necessary, but it's the ingredients. And in this case, it's the character, it's the stories, it's the fun. One of my favorite platforms ever is Jak and Daxter. Because the characters are so freaking fun. They have great back and forth dialogue. I couldn't tell you any of the levels. I couldn't tell you like what I did as far as gameplay, but I remember I loved the way it was designed from a story and art and character side of things. I think that's what matters most, and I think that's why it's going to win.
What about you, JB?
Okay, what I think about what matters for Banjo is it's unique. Mario is Mario, regardless of the game, but Banjo was something new, something fresh, something exciting. And it was fresh and exciting for me because I had never played any Banjo game up until now. So I was coming into this not knowing what to expect. And I was very, pleasantly surprised by the game. It's absolutely chaotic with the different levels and characters and the enemies and all that kind of stuff. So I think it has a really, really strong chance of taking the title today.
Okay. Could I say, to add on, maybe it's also Banjo was born on the N64, as to where Mario has a legacy across multiple stuff. Maybe this is Banjo's console.
Whoa. Yeah, maybe. That's a good thought, at least.
Yeah, I agree.
Jake?
I think this deserves the title of Exemplar 3D platforming because it took all the things that Mario did well. 9 out of 10 things that Mario did well And in my opinion, I think it did them better. The music's better, the levels are better, the move set is more varied and more forgiving, and the platforming, to me, was more fun. I don't think a platformer gets a pass just because there's things to jump on and things move around. Some of the stuff in Mario 64 felt like playing Wipeout. It was so weird and janky and like a fever dream. Banjo Kazooie took all those platforming elements, created a beautiful world for you to explore, and made platforming more than just platforming. And I think that's why it deserves the title. And on that note, that was Banjo Kazooie, a very charming, artistic, awesome platformer. Yeah, but it has a lot of crazy stuff going on, and I don't know, if you don't like collecting stuff, then this game's gonna suck and fucking suck and suck and fucking suck for you.
This game is gonna suck and fuck? What?
Well, now you know what
You heard
fucking
me.
sucks and
Wait, I
fucking...
changed mine. What matters is this game sucks and fucks.
You heard me.
Now we know what's good, what's bad, and what matters about each of our contenders. As always, they will be awarded trophies based on 3 categories of art, fun factor, and game design. Then with those in mind, we will crown an ultimate victor for today's battle.
And I'm up first with the art trophy. So, Mario 64 deserves its crown for being one of the most influential 3D video games in history. It taught us how fun it can be to explore worlds in 3 dimensions, and supplied techniques and creative ideas that were expanded upon in every subsequent open world game since. Mario 64 is the archetype of all 3D games to come. However, tonight's contender stepped up and took that inspiration and knocked it out of the park. Banjo Kazooie showed us, all the way back in the 90s, just how fun and creative 3D environments can be. Each level is brought to life with a slew of funny characters, innovative gameplay and minigames, and immersive environments that are as cohesive as they are fun to traverse. I could also go on and on about the music. Not only did every level sport an original soundtrack, but Grunty's Lair contained a dynamic theme that changed in every area and even underwater. Banjo Kazooie is a 1-2 punch of amazing music and thematic level design tied together with engaging, humorous characters. For that, Banjo Kazooie wins the art trophy.
And I'm up next with the Fun Factor trophy. Now, usually I would try to approach this question and this trophy as objectively as possible and try to get out of my own nostalgia factor and try to approach the games for what they are. But for this episode, I said, screw it. I had way more fun playing Mario 64, and that is 100% due to my experience playing in my youth. I mean, I was reliving my childhood, and I adored every moment. The nostalgia was absolutely insane, and I loved every minute of it. Mario 64 takes the Fun Factor trophy.
And I will go ahead and round things out with the game design trophy. This trophy has to bar elements of charm and art. It's got to be all about the mechanics, the moves, the layouts of the levels. So in Mario's case, it comes out shining quite easily, actually. It's got great motion mechanics, it's got level design, it's got move sets, all that are still being used in the modern Switch versions of Mario today. Meanwhile, Banjo, it does have easier mechanics, it has a more appealing atmosphere, but that is all merit to the creative department. Its technical department just does not seem to measure up to Mario's status, so since only one can win, tonight's game design trophy has to go to Mario 64. All right, well, those were the trophies for today's showdown, which show you where each game excels. But it is now time to cast our vote to find out which is the final winner for Exemplar of 3D platformers, Super Mario 64 versus Banjo Kazooie. Jake with the first vote.
Okay, so my vote, not to sound super pretentious, is it's going to be based around the definition of exemplar, which, I mean, is a way of saying a desirable model. Maybe not the best, but an excellent and desirable model for things to come, right? Based on that, it's Banjo Kazooie. It just is. I think that Banjo Kazooie is the best model of what platforming on the N64 was.
JB.
All right, so exemplar, yes, it does mean desirable model, also at least one of the best of its kind, but I do believe that exemplar means the best of its kind. It is what everything else strives to be, and 100% Banjo-Kazooie tried to be Mario. They inserted their own flair, as Rare does, and they're very, very good devs in their own right, but I mean, one stands tall at the top of the mountain, throwing bombs off the edge, and that's Super Mario 64.
All right, that leaves it to me as the tiebreaker for this. Now, I'm going to say that for me, the definition of Exemplar 3D platformer means something that is an influence for the games to come, something that is the role model, something that can stand the test of time and be the giant that other games can stand on their shoulders. And if you know where I'm going, this is going to be Super Mario 64. As much as I love the creativity and what Banjo Kazooie did, Super Mario 64 is just legendary, and other games will always copy it, and it is always going to be the shining beacon and example of a 3D platformer on the N64. So that means today's winner for Exemplar of 3D platformer is Super Mario 64. Play the music. Yay!
Ooh, I wanted Banjo to win.
I know, and I feel so bad because here's the thing: I like Banjo better, but I gotta do it where it's due, and I feel like
I get it.
Yeah,
Man,
it pains
I get
me
it.
too.
I get it.
I
All right,
love you,
listeners at
Banjo.
home. Nah, play them both, man. Play Banjo Kazooie. It's
Yeah.
a good game, dude.
And
I
you
agree.
probably already played 64, so play Banjo. And Tom, no death threats. Tom from Cast of the Past.
Is
I
Tom
know.
a huge banjo lover?
He's a huge Banjo fan.
Wow.
Yeah, go ahead and turn off that bold red letters in your email right now. I know, all right?
Just go ahead. Hit us with that tweet. Hit us with a tweet, boy.
Hit us with a tweet. We can take it.
Hello, fellas. I have your box here.
Oh, hey, perfect timing, man. I mean, we just voted for the winner. All right, let's get going.
What was that?
Oh, sorry. There was a bit of my smoothie left.
No, that. It's coming from your backpack.
Oh, that's Reginald. He just wants more of this blueberry deliciousness. Here you go. Drink up.
Oh.
Whoa.
Oh.
Wait, what? How did you fit a whole fucking emu in your backpack, dude?
You misunderstand. You see, Alice was absolutely heavy with eggs.
Weird.
I needed all that hair for her proper nesting. Thus, Reginald was born. And now we're having a bit of a father-son day. No relation.
But what
Neat.
you need...
Nah, let it go, dude, or we'll be here all day.
Yes. Well, I must go now. Say thank you for the hair, Reginald.
You're welcome, Reginald. He's so polite.
Well, bye, fellas.
Bye, Terry. Ooh, yeah, all right, that was a emu in a backpack. Okay,
Yep.
let's just find that hacking device and get this over with, guys.
Oh, cool. I bet this box is filled with all sorts of actual secret spy gadgets.
Oh, yeah. Dude, let's see.
So we got keys to a Honda Civic, a baseball card signed by David Duchovny. The fuck?
Oh, he's so good.
Isn't he on X-Files?
Yeah. Californication?
This is like a daily pill organizer. What is this? Then old video game cartridges, a steamy romance novel that I'm putting in my jacket.
Oh my god, this stuff is so cool. Wait, no it's not. This is all junk.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any high-tech equipment at all, dude. Like, look at this. This is just a dirty fork from the break room. Ah, fucking gross.
Gentlemen, we do not have much time left. They're planning on moving me. Have you acquired the device?
Well, we got the box, but it's just garbage in this thing. Like, okay, the pencil, toenail clippers, an old Game Shark. Like,
Oh, jolly good, you did it. That is no ordinary Game Shark. That is the ultimate hacking device. We in the business call it the key. It can hack pretty much anything, you know.
ooh.
Oh, cool. So all of this is like disguised super high-tech stuff?
No, it's junk. I have a bit of a holding problem, you see.
Lame.
Anyway, use the key to get into the boss's office. He's beefed up security, you know, so it may be quite a challenge. But if you succeed, you should be able to unlock the secret door to the secret tunnel.
Oh my god, guys. Secret tunnel!
From there, I shall explain everything. Get moving and good luck, podcasters.
Huh. What do you guys think about this for a name? Good luck, have fun. Right?
Nah, that's kind of like too friendly, right?
Oh, yeah, true. All right, well, I guess it's time to save Goodwin.
Yeah, okay, let's go.
You got the Game Shark?
Oh, yeah, I got it right here.
Okay.
Oh, what if we call it the Game Sharks?
No, too Pacific.
You mean specific?
No, dude, like oceany.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, JB, are you coming?
Yeah, I'll catch up with you. I just got to take care of one last little thing. I'll be right there.
All right, dude. Don't be long, though.
Hey, Anne? Yeah, you're probably in sleep mode right now, but there's just been a lot of foreshadowing going on lately, and I don't know if we're going to make it back. And I just didn't want to leave without apologizing for last episode when I cut you off like that and called you, what was it, a stupid, useless machine or whatever. I'm saying it wasn't cool of me. And I know you didn't have a say in ending up here with us, and I shouldn't have made it harder on you like that. I just wanted to say that even if you try to kill us occasionally and make fun of our organs, we still appreciate everything you do for us. Anyway, yeah, have a good nap.
Damn it.
Oh, there you are, dude. Okay, so how are we supposed to get into the office this time?
Well, no, it's the Game Shark. We're supposed to use it to hack the lock or whatever.
No, there's no need. I already took care of it.
What? How?
Well, when we were leaving the boss's office last time, I knew we would have to get back in here eventually, so I employed some genius gadgetry of my own.
Oh.
The old tape on the door latch trick.
Ooh.
Oh.
And here we go. It's just... hold on. It gets a little sticky. It's tape, you know. Well, it looks like they pulled the old remove the tape on the door latch trick.
Oh, my God.
Well, we're boned.
Just, Jake, use the Game Shark.
Well, I guess it just goes here. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe just... Oh, or maybe here? Ah, dude, I knew this old piece of shit wouldn't work on anything modern.
Wait, old. That's it. Here, hand it
What?
over. You just,
are you doing?
I know exactly what to do. Right here. Ready?
What it...
It's not going to
Oh my
work.
God.
All right. And then just right here. And that's it. Let's see. And
Huh.
the old blow on the cartridge trick works every time.
Dude, I can't believe that just worked. All right, so we just pulled a book and entered the secret door, right?
Jake, problem. The door is
What?
gone. And now it's just a big painting of the boss.
Yeah, and the bookshelf is missing too. It's just a giant arcade cabinet with these discrete wires running up to the back of the painting. That must be the new security Goodwin mentioned. But how do we get past it?
I mean, it's kind of obvious, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, way ahead of
Wait,
you.
wait, no.
Oh,
Ooh.
it was bricks. There was bricks behind it.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a wall.
Yikes. Am I still pretty?
Cowboy, did you really think you could jump through that painting?
It seemed thematically correct. Oh.
Oh my God, Cowboy, video games aren't real.
Yeah,
Oh.
dude. Hey, can you help it?
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, dude. Get up and help us beat whatever this game is to open the door.
Oh, dibs. All right. And start. Here we go. Can't stop me. I'm so fast. I am speed.
Oh my God.
Slow down, dude.
Watch this jump.
Dude, you
Watch
never
this cut.
played this.
Damn it.
I told you. Here, give
Come
me.
on, you gotta go
No,
fast in
give it here.
games.
All right, let me see.
I mean, not always.
Skill.
I'd like to see you do better.
Skill. You got to learn the levels. Okay, so just a little over here. Now wait for this guy's move. See?
I'm falling
Jump
asleep.
on him. Okay, it's easy. We have all the time
You're
in
so
the world. Here we go. And then I'm going to take this. Oh, no, I waited. Oh.
Yeah, that door is closed forever.
Oh.
now. You went way too slow. All right, Jake, well, come on. Show us how it's done.
Well, come on, guys. Like, this is a fantasy setting, so watch this. I mean, the key to it is you gotta explore. Let's take in the environment a little bit. Why is that platform there, right?
It's the developers.
There's a power-up.
Well, yeah, see? And then, so we just climb up this little rope here. It was in the background, see?
How
Pay
are you supposed to know
attention.
that's there?
Oh, that Venus flytrap just ate me.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. I got it now. Okay. All right. So we run. Okay. We jump over the spike pit. Yep.
Now stop.
Slide under that door. Easy. Venus flytrap on Mars. I got it. I blow it up. All right. And
Go in
then,
there.
okay. So here is mini boss number 1. We just got to jump on it.
Wait, no,
Damn
it was a turtle. You don't jump on a turtle. Well, in Mario,
thought
I
it
guess
would-
you do.
That's what I was basing it off of. I thought
Yeah,
every
but this
game
ain't
you just jump
Mario.
on the turtle.
No, dude, I told you your speedrunning ain't going to do it. You need to finesse. Give me this. Okay. All right, so we learned about this guy. Jump on him, move over there. The door, get inside the door before it closes. Venus flytrap.
Oh,
See?
barely.
See, look, I'm not rushing it. I'm doing everything right. And then What do I do with this guy?
I don't know.
He's coming at me. What do I do, guys? What do I do? Like, I'm gonna duck.
Oh, nope, you're dead.
What? No,
You waited too long. You just stood there. You made
There was no
moves.
clear answer.
All right, I got this. Okay, so we're going up. All right, I'm taking it. Up the vines. Here we go. Venus fight. Almost got me. Okay.
You made it, though.
I did. Okay. I'm gonna check the inventory here.
No, get out of the inventory. What if you get attacked?
There's an inventory?
I just gotta see what kind of stuff we have. Oh, there's stats on this sword. Let me see. +2.
Stop reading lore.
So this sword was built by Eric Blacksmith. What the hell just happened? Oh, the game doesn't actually pause.
That's what I was saying.
That's my kind of game.
No
inventory management here.
It's got that Last of Us system.
Hmm.
That's pretty advanced.
I gotta say, this game's cheating. Like, it's unbeatable.
Yeah, no, it's a trick question game. It's a game made from trick questions. It's not fair.
I mean, obviously, if we can't beat it, then this game just is kind of like, I don't know, stupid. I don't want to play it, really.
If we can't beat it, each of us have been playing on our own, but what if we play together?
Like a Megazord.
The power of friendship.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah.
Well,
all right,
but play together. Like, we all play at the same time. The power of friendship.
I'm reading you loud and clear.
There's only one set of controls.
Okay. Well, I mean, I got this button then. I'll do this.
Oh, I'll handle the movement.
Okay, you got the movement.
And I'll just place my hands on top of your guys's.
Yeah, and I'll put mine on the joystick as well. And
it keeps our hands warm, so we're better gamers.
Double the movement.
Right.
Oh, I think you're onto something. Here we go.
Okay. Yep. All right. No, I got you. Punch. No, Jake, that's you.
Wait. Inventory.
Okay.
Sword.
Quick,
the sword.
Okay, got it. All right, jump over there.
Oh, read the sign.
Oh, wait, got it. Okay, what does it say? The turtle's weakness is stabbing. Oh, we've been going about it all wrong.
Because we've been jumping on his head, and that doesn't make sense. We gotta stab him with the sword.
We gotta stab him with the sword. What?
All right, here, I got this. I know how to stab. Okay. Left arm, right, left.
All right.
Left, right, punch.
Wait for the moment.
That's it.
Jump over.
Wait, hit. And...
Stab.
Yeah. Go, get him.
Got him.
We're so good at this.
Oh, we killed a turtle.
That was it.
I've never been so proud.
Together, ape strong. That was the answer.
All right, now we beat the
Wait,
turtle.
the screen's shaking.
Oh, boss approaches.
Oh,
let's do this.
We
got
made it
this.
to the end.
We got this. As a team, we can do anything.
Yes, we can.
All right, let's see who we're fighting. It's like a big, scary-looking dude in a suit.
Weird.
Yeah.
Wait. Whoa, is that the boss?
Oh my god, he put himself in the game?
Dude, yeah. And look at his health bar, dude. He's got 3 rows of it. A green, yellow, and red phase for each.
Oh, no.
That's not
ridiculous.
Congrats on getting to the end. But sorry, hero. Around here, bad guys always win.
Alright, don't listen to him, guys. With the power of friendship, we can do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, power of friendship. Okay, let's drop our special on him.
Aw, damn it.
Oh, he already got us.
Dude.
Yeah. It's alright, we got a few more lives.
Alright, let's do this.
Okay. Guys, we can do this. Okay, just jump on.
Yeah. No.
Whoa. That laser covers the whole screen.
It's not fair.
It's not even fair.
Okay, you know what, guys? Our hands were just sweaty. Let's wipe them off.
That's it.
Yeah. Okay.
Clean them off.
Here we go.
Well,
Reset. Here we go.
All right, so just go move up. Oh.
Damn it. Wait, I have an idea. I can... Damn it.
Oh, I know. How about we...
Oh. Well, I can...
Oh.
What?
Pathetic.
Oh, dude.
Jake, just use the Game Shark.
Yeah, okay.
Congrats on getting to the end, but how? They didn't even program me losing into this game.
Yay!
We did it.
Dude, that was easy.
Yeah, no wonder hackers love cheating. This was awesome.
No, that's still bad. But at least the painting's open and we can go in.
Yes, secret tunnel. Come on, let's go check it out.
All right.
I still don't get the reference.
Yeah, me either, actually.
Oh, you guys are so uncultured. Oh, it's dark in here.
Okay, all right, guys. So we find Goodwin,
Mm-hmm.
bust him out quick,
Yep.
and
Right.
we're in and out before anyone suspects a thing, right?
Hell yeah.
Easy.
Who left this door open? Podcasters.
Oh,
fuck you, yes man.
Yes, man.
Why are you here?
Of course.
You guys are the good guys. Finally, I have the proof I need. Now, to seal you in here until the boss finds you. Then he'll know I was right all along, and I'll get a promotion. And the respect of my peers.
Damn it, Yasmin.
Boo! Fuck
You
you!
suck.
Ah,
You're the worst.
what an ass.
Worst.
You.
He's the absolute
Fucking
worst.
Well, looks like we're trapped, boys. No turning back now.
Yeah, so, I mean, shit, dude, what do we do now?
I don't know, man. We probably should just end the episode, though. I mean, it seems like we're going to be in here for a while.
Wait, you've been recording all this?
Deloy? I mean, how else are we going to put out an episode?
I mean, I don't know, man. The internet?
Well, there you go, folks. Another perfect podcast. Looks like we'll be starting next episode locked in the famous secret tunnel from JB's dreams.
Secret tunnel!
What does it mean?
I don't know. Thank you all for sending us questions through our social media. Remember, you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, and you can check out our website at head2headpod.com or h2hpod.com for those of you who hate the letter E.
And as always, thanks to Metroid Mike for the use of our theme song, I Can't Break. It's off his album, Heart of the Juggernaut. Buy it on Bandcamp. The links are in the description there. Feed his baby with that hard-earned money. Also, Metroid Mike, could you just call the police or something, get us out of here, maybe?
Indeed. I want to thank you all for listening. As always, can you please jump on any application you can that will allow you to rate, follow, subscribe? I would actually request that we get some people onto our Twitch. If you all know, we're going to be starting a new season soon, and it's going to involve all sorts of networks and programs. So catch us on Twitch, catch us on Instagram, and all the new places. And do not forget to stay for the post-credits sequence. Now, get the fuck out of here.
Good night, everybody!
Good night.
Good night.
Or morning.
Seriously, somebody should call, somebody. I don't have
Right.
a signal.
Do you any of you have a torch? Man, I don't know how we're going to find Goodwin. This place is dark and it's like a labyrinth.
It's a maze.
Yeah.
It smells weird in here.
Dungeon. Hey, wait, don't you have that watch Goodwin gave you?
Yeah.
Can't you call him?
Oh, I don't know. I never tried. Let me see.
We'll try.
Hey, it's working.
Oh, podcasters, where have you been? I said 20 minutes. It's been 4 hours.
Oh, shit. Yeah, we must have totally lost track of time. I mean, you know what they say.
Yeah, Epstein didn't kill himself.
What? No.
Huh?
Time flies when you're having fun.
Jesus.
What did I say?
Anyway, they moved me, podcasters. I don't believe you'll be able to get to me in time. I'm afraid it's all up to you now.
I don't know about that, man. This is getting, pretty serious.
Yeah, at this point, I feel like we could lose our jobs.
Yeah, so you better tell us who you are and who you're working for, or we walk, man. We fucking walk.
Yeah, actually.
Oh, well, obviously, since we're out of options, may as well drop the act.
What?
Whoa.
Hey, listen up, buddy. I'm part of a rival organization that is hellbent on identifying and destroying evil video game enterprises. But you already knew that. Our director, Frank, has been receiving the encoded messages inside your podcast for months. It may have taken a team of 20 analysts working around the clock to decode the messages you disguised as ignorant chatter and crude jokes. But we finally cracked it, and we've heard you loud and clear. That's how we knew you were on our side.
Yeah, totally encoded messages and not ignorant banter at all. Yeah.
Okay, so this is wild, but who are you guys?
Oh, us? Well, we're called The good guys.
Oh, maybe that could be our new name, guys. The Good Guys.
Yeah, that's great. Let's do it.
Perfect.
That one's trademarked.
Oh, damn it. It's so hard.
Oh.
Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da.